unique dating experience unlike any other.
You gave the relationship all you had.
But we have to share a bed?
Can your ex help you meet your next love?
I'm looking for somebody that's gonna make me laugh.
Do I have any low-lying feelings for Nicole? Maybe.
Sorry, I don't agree with their decision.
Are you afraid?
Know who you're talking to?
You should be.
After Happily Ever After series premiere Wednesday at 10 on BET.
And we're back with Miss Gretchen Long from Long Money Trucking. And she's been dropping all the gems on us today, y'all. She's been talking about dispatching, trucking, and how to get to that long money, right? We don't want the short money. We want that long money. I love the name of your company.
Thank you.
And so what tool do you use when it comes to be able to what tools do you give your carriers to be successful? Do you give them TMS systems? What type of systems do you use to make the carriers stay trucking?
Yes, ma'am. So I use Airtable as my TMS. I customize my own template. And I actually am able to use that interface for customer facing as well as for internal. Shout out again to my inner circle because I have them using the same thing as well.
The inner circle is in the building, y'all.
The support is crazy. Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy. They are amazing. Like God, and I talk about God so much, and because of what He's done for me, and I want other people to know that He will do it for them too, if you just have faith. But we use Airtable. What that allows me to do is really look at each load from a microscope, right? And really be able to extract the data. And that's a really big thing for me, being able to look at the data. So when I have my trucks running, I can comprise data and look at, okay, what were the most profitable lanes from last week, right? Or what were the most profitable lanes for the month? And this will help us to redirect those trucks and help them. Okay, well, we were PA to Georgia, or we did a triangle from PA to Georgia, and then we went over to Mississippi, then we came back, and that run was able to keep us going. The shippers and receivers were good. We didn't have extensive wait times. So all of that information helps us to be able to continue to navigate and make those better decisions or executive decisions on where to keep the trucks. So I coupled my personal data. I use the DAT data trend software all the time. And I use it because, of course, we know that 90% of spot market freight is posted there. So their data is very accurate to me. I will say maybe I may see a 20-cent differential when it comes to rates or what we're seeing. But the good news is you're actually able to see what was the highest rate was paid for a particular lane that was traveled and the lowest rate, right? So this gives us inside information when it comes time to negotiate with brokers and talk to them about these lanes. Because a lot of times, when you're on the phone with a broker, you're asking them, oh, can you give me an extra $200? Well, why? What am I going to give you extra $200 for?
For my fuel.
Fuel is great leverage, especially when fuel is fluctuating. But I always teach my carriers as well as my inner circle to negotiate within your leverage, right? Find the leverage within the lane to speak to why they should be paying you top dollar for that lane. And they really do have a lot of success with that.
Awesome. That is, see y'all, listen. The way she break down and explain things, like I know, like even from just seeing your inner circle here, they saying gang, support. Like people, you have so many people, help so many people win in this industry. Again, I just want to congratulate you. But I know you see some people who you can give them all the tools, but they just can't make it. So my next question is, why do you see some independent freight brokers or dispatchers companies fail?
Yeah. So to your point, I always say I can give you the game, but the hustle is so separate, right? And I think the number one reason why a lot of them fail is they give up. Right. A lot of people don't know how to fight through the hard times. One little thing goes wrong and we allow that to derail us from our entire vision or our entire dream or goal that we have set. And it's super important that, even if things don't work out the first time, we have to keep going. Right. Look at the product WD-40. Right. They say that it was named WD-40 because that was his 40th attempt at trying to make the product, right?
Oh wow,
So
I did not know that.
yeah, right. So when you hear something like that, and then you look at your business and what you're going through, you're like, well, you probably haven't even tried 40 times. You know,
Right.
you just ready to give up. So they're very quick to give up. And that's one of the things that I try to coach against. You know, even if it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like, continue to persevere through it, because on the other side of you getting through is your victory and is your success. And the second biggest thing that I would think that I would say hinders a lot of success is just the lack of knowledge and the lack of willingness to learn. Right, we have to continue to stay students, even as CEOs, right? And even I'm sure as yourself, you still are learning, right? You're still putting yourself in spaces to expand your education, to expand your knowledge, to continue to take in and soak in information. And a lot of people, they don't remain forever a student, and they don't take the time to really research what it is that they're getting into. So that's a big thing for me. And that's why I push, study these lanes, study these rates, read the blogs, read newsletters, stay abreast of these things, because if you're not, you're going to fall by the wayside. I mean, rates change daily sometimes. So we have to stay abreast.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I need y'all to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Because this right here, this right here is good. Great, good. It's great. So, okay. I'm new to the industry. Well, listen, for y'all who don't know me, I've been in the industry for 10 years. I'm just giving you a scenario. Okay. So I'm new to the industry. I want to become a dispatcher, but I might not have a bunch of money. So what tools do I need to purchase to get started in dispatching?
Of course. So I always tell people that dispatch is going to be your lowest startup entry point into the industry, because you don't have to worry about a truck. You don't necessarily have to worry about any type of liability insurance or anything like that. So if you're strategic and you're resourceful, you can get this business started for at least $1,000 minimum, $1,500 on the high end. Most people have a computer already, or some type of tablet, iPad. You already have a cell phone, right? We walk around with these in our hands like it's money. So yeah, so we already have those tools. Establishing your LLC, maybe what, $300 at the most, depending on what state you're in. Your EIN number is free. So you don't have to pay anybody to get that. That's something that you could easily obtain yourself at no cost to you. I definitely do recommend that you get some type of formal training. Now, you know, you can go anywhere else, but as you can see, the inner circle is where it's at. So, you know, if you need to come and come and get some training, absolutely. Vet those people, vet those services, vet me, or anybody before you invest in yourself, so you can make sure that you're making the right investment. And once you get the know-how and you have the tools that you need, it's hustle, and can't nobody give you that. You got to come with it.
You got to come with the hustle, y'all. The hustle is the most important piece. Because let's just talk about it. You have to really get out here and network. So in order to dispatch a carrier, as y'all know, most people know, I'm a driver, but I have been a carrier as well. So I'm a carrier as well. And so if I don't know you exist, how you going to dispatch me? So you got the hustle. You got to be out here talking to people. You got to be out here in the industry, rubbing shoulders with people. Look, we have Miss Nicole Ward in the building. She said, that's right. She is, we just saw her on BET, Happily Ever After. So she's going to be on the Power of Podcasting event we have this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, with Dr. Tina J. Ramsey of the Tina Ramsey Show. Thank you both for tuning in tonight. Yes, she's dropping gems, y'all. She is dropping so many gems. I'm going to pop up what's coming up for us. We have the Power of Podcasting event. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're interested in podcasting, as you see that we are doing here, then you definitely want to attend this event on May the 6th. That's this weekend from 2 to 7. It's going to be a live taping with Nicole Ward from BET and Dr. Tina Ramsey. And then we are going to be on a panel talking about marketing and branding and all that good stuff at the Power of Podcasting event. You don't want to miss it. So,
got to be in the building.
Got to be in the building, y'all. Y'all got to be in the building.
Yes.
Now, Do you find that some carriers can be a little bit hard to work with? And if they are, how do you handle situations like that?
Yes, so working with people is always challenging, right? Because we all have different personalities. But at the same time, like I tell everyone, right, the drivers, our carriers are the most important piece to the puzzle, right? Because if they're not driving and they're not happy, nobody's making any money. So, so we definitely have to make sure that we keep a focus on them and understand what their needs are. And that's the biggest thing that I try to do. You know, what makes them happy? What makes them tick? What are hard no's for them? What is important to them, right? And a lot of time it's getting home on time, right? Or it's being not forced to be put in driving situations that make them uncomfortable.
That's what we want. We want to be home on time and we want our money on time.
Come on.
Those two things are the most important part. You don't pay me, I'm out. You don't get me home, I'm going home anyway.
Right. And you're gonna have to figure it out from there, right? So it's super important that when I'm working with someone that may be a little bit more challenging or has some issues or is giving a little bit more pushback, just really getting down to the root cause of the situation, right? What is it that's making you feel this way? What is it that you need, or what could we have done better to make you feel more comfortable, to help us get through this particular situation? So I always approach it from that type of standpoint. And a lot of times people, when we become dispatchers, and when you're dealing with a dispatcher, sometimes they forget that the driver doesn't work for you. Yeah, they work for they work for themselves, right?
Yes. Wait a minute. Let me get the claps out. Hold on. She gets a round of applause. Let me try to. Is that the driver do not work for you? You're asking us to go somewhere to pick up and deliver, and we have the option to accept.
Exactly.
I'm loving this. See, I'm excited.
But it's true, right? And so in order for everybody on all sides of the coin to make money, everyone has to be happy. So granted, there may just be some situations with some drivers and carriers that you just can't work through, and sometimes they are just really challenging and there's really not much that you can do. And that's why I do teach my inner circle that everybody may not be a good fit for you, right? Personalities definitely have to align in order for you to have a good working relationship. So just remembering that you're in a B2B situation, right? Business to business, not business to consumer, right? It's totally different. So you got to put some respect on these drivers' names. Absolutely. Absolutely. And being able to retain the business is what brings you longevity in your business, which is what brings you increased revenues in your business. And so all of those things. Come on with the long money. It's just that simple.
I love it. I love it. So what do carriers have to work with you, with your company?
As long as they have active MC authorities, they must have the full requirements for insurance. I do need a copy of their W-9, of course, so that everyone has that. I like for them to have all their securement equipment, right? Please have everything that you need. Valid CDL. Don't let me find out when you get to pull it over at the weigh station that you ain't turned in your med card and now you ain't got no CDL just because you got the license, right? So as long as all their credentials and everything are in place, and they have the equipment that they need and the securement that they need, and they're open to being open, especially in a market like we're in right now. I know carriers and drivers don't like to do multi-stop loads. I know carriers and drivers don't like to go to those areas where they feel a little uncomfortable. But if you can give a little with me and we can talk through it and really just get down to the bottom of it and come up with an agreement together, then I'm okay with working with them. And again, so many people say no forced dispatch, right? That's the thing. Oh, no forced dispatch. But I don't think they truly know what that means. And I tell people all the time, it just really comes down to making sure that we have a clear understanding between the two of us. Me making sure I know, again, your hard nose. Okay, I know that you don't want to go through Virginia or West Virginia I know that that's a hard no for you. So we can work around that, right? But if you're willing to bend on the West Virginians, but you'll give me some Midwest, we can work it out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like if I say 40 below, I just mean 40 below.
That's it.
So get the map out, look 40 and go below that. And that's I'm cool to ride in the wintertime across I-10.
That's
Cool.
it.
So drivers know because that's I've been to states. And like I said, I've been in this industry since 2014. And I've been to states I just don't want to go back to. I
Yeah.
didn't leave anything in North Dakota. Like I don't want to go back to North Dakota.
Right.
And it's some states that might not even it's some places that we deliver to where you're the only person that look like you there. And so
Mhm.
it's not as comfortable for you to be there. You're trying to drop that load and get up out really
Sure.
fast. And so that's why sometimes, a lot of drivers do have preferences. And I love the way that you explained that. I also love the way that you explain how to handle adverse situations when dealing with carriers and drivers, because you will run into some challenging people so that you have
Mhm.
to deal with. And you got to have really tough skin. You got to have really thick skin when it comes to being a dispatcher. Because I know I've given my dispatcher a lot of I said
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere today. I don't even feel like it. They like, what?
It's a relationship, right? It's like it's a relationship. You dating this person. Like
Mhm.
you talk to them at first thing in the morning, you talk to them at the end of the day, you talk to them throughout the day, you exchanging money. That's a
Mhm.
relationship,
Yep.
so
And I was gonna
you
say, and
may
I
have,
had I'm sorry, go ahead.
and I said you just may have differences, and that's okay.
And I've had some dispatchers who I just absolutely love, and it didn't matter what they tell me to go, I was gonna go because I just love them. And so when you build that relationship, like you said, with the carrier, with that driver, and they just love you, you can pretty much ask them to go anywhere. Because they know you have their best interest. You're not gonna put them in any kind of situation. You're not gonna make them drive over black ice. you know, if we say, hey, it's black ice, it's snowing, I can't move, you're like, just go ahead and deliver. No, they don't work. So if it's a situation that's like that, where it is a weather and the driver cannot deliver, or it's an accident on the road, then what do you suggest that drivers do? They will communicate with the dispatcher, correct? And then what happens? Let's talk about that, because I think a lot of times a lot of drivers don't understand what roles they play, why they have to communicate these things, so you can be able to communicate with the brokers and stuff like that. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I fight with one of my drivers all the time because he feels like he don't have to call me. If there's nothing you can do, so I don't need to call you, right? But it's super important that we know, right? To let us know, to put us on standby or give us some notice, right? That way we can work the things in the back end, right? If it's going to be something that we have to decide, hey, don't move, wait until they clear it up, wait until whatever breaks through, or you can find an alternative route. We need to be able to notify the broker of that to make sure that there's not ramifications to your authority on a late delivery, to protect your asset, which is your company. And again, as far as weather conditions are concerned, we really do try to look through those things when it comes to trip planning and routing for them, to make sure that we're kind of checking for those types of things and making sure that we're not sending them into adverse conditions knowingly. Sometimes it could be blue skies, and then as soon as they get there, a storm came that we didn't even hear about, right? So we know that the weather can just be very fickle and kind of change at the drop of a dime. So safety is first. I would never ask a driver or a carrier to do anything that they feel is unsafe, because again, I'm at a computer, you're in the truck, so I can't say what you deem as safe or unsafe. And if you're telling me that it's unsafe, I'm going to take your word for it, because that's your lane, right? My lane is to be at the desk at the computer making the numbers look right. Your lane is to get it there safely. So that's super important, and communication is key. When it comes to that driver and dispatch relationship, we must talk. We have to talk, especially as it's pertaining to your loads or any challenges or things that arise while you're out there in the field. Because if we can't hear from you or we're not notified, then we just don't know.
Absolutely. That is right on point. Safety is the number one thing. And I want y'all to be safe. Do not drink and drive. But shout out to my sponsor, Sakari Spirits. It is a woman, black owned. If the bottle feels so good. And I have another sponsor now, Miss Lady Nab. She has a winery. It's called Lady Nap's Winery. It's here in Chattanooga. She has cotton candy, all different types of flavors, y'all. All different types of flavor. I haven't opened them yet. As you see, I'm getting ready to. I tried them all at the winery, and they all are good. And this is peach here. But the Sakari spirits, y'all. Oh my God, it's so good. But listen, do not drink and drive. Safety first, safety first. And I'm gonna take a shot because shout out to my sponsor, True TMS. We're gonna talk about that. A TMS system that you can manage your trucking company with as well. And Miss Gretchen, she also told you about a trucking company herself, but True TMS is one of our sponsors, and they do load management, reports, back office, driver dispatch management, EL, and they have ELD providers as well. So thank you to our sponsors. And I'm just going to play a quick little video as one of our members who received our the True TMS, as she gives a little.
Huge shout out to TMS for this amazing shot glass that I received in my goodie bag at the rooftop mixer. Thank you so much, TMS.
True TMS, shout out to you. Sakara Spirits, girl, you know that's just good. Okay, and our next sponsor is Relay Payments. Relay Payments, you can save $250. Okay, if you go to their page, Relay Payments, and you just literally tag yourself up on this post, you can save $250 at the pump. These are for our owner operators and our carriers. Okay, so get your driver to go in, and then you can save $30 in fuel. If you're a She Trucking member, you get $30 off by using the code SAVE30. And Relay Payments is an app. It is an app that you can put on your phone, and it also helps, like, instead of using those checks, like if the check, what is the checks?
For the EFS and the
EFS and all of those checks, you don't have to use that. You can use Relay Payments. So if you don't have Relay Payments, Miss Gretchen, I want you to sign up today. And in your inner circle, I want everybody to get on it, because that's when I say, as a driver, as a carrier as well, it has made my life easier to be able to use this digital. They give you these digital cards. It's a debit card, and so the carriers can put money on that card. And now I don't have to wake you up in the middle of the night for my lumper fee. They take lumper fees, all different kind of things. If you're short on, whatever, if you need whatever you need, if you need to do a cash advance for your driver, they can use that as well. So shout out to Relay Payments. And sorry, I had to take a second to shout out my sponsors. But back to the She Trucking podcast with Miss Gretchen Long with Long Money Trucking. Oh, I love the name of your company. What made you name it Long Money Trucking?
Man, so of course my last name is Long.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was at Comcast, my team that I led when I was store manager, we were number 1 in sales for 3 quarters in a row, and they just started calling us the Long Money Team. So when I left Comcast and I was thinking of my business name, I was like, you know what? It's Long Money Trucking. Like it was like a no-brainer. And I was just like, we sticking with it, and then it just kind of kept going. And at first I was like, man, people gonna be like, Long Money Trucking, like that's weird. And I was just like, well, the fact that it's my last name, it should smooth it over.
Absolutely. So do y'all have any like dedicated runs, or do y'all look for more people that's doing over the road? What type of carriers and drivers are you looking for when it comes to that commute?
Yeah, so I do have some of my carriers that are on dedicated lanes. I really like to have them for a while before I put them on dedicated lanes, because as we know, right, it's easy to get a contract, but it's even easier to lose it, right? A lot of people don't understand that maintenance and you being out. So when you're on a contract and you sign on with one of these shippers or receivers, right, for a contract, they don't really care about you needing days off. They don't really care about you needing time off. If they're telling you that their quota is that they have 5 loads or a load every day that needs to be delivered, you need to have a truck available to get that done. And so it's really important to me to make sure that the carriers are represented the right way within their business, so that they can create longevity in those business relationships. I do deal more with a lot of OTR drivers. Right now, we really just are playing it by ear. What I like to do, and I kind of just went over this with my inner circle last week. We really focus on making sure that every carrier has a Friday load, so that a Friday pickup that's going to carry them over the weekend will be where they do their long haul. And then Monday through Thursday, or Tuesday through Thursday, excuse me, the rest of those drops, we will be trying to work to achieve that daily truck rate, right? So whatever it is that that truck needs to make every day, we really work on trying to do that, which will be a load that they can deliver next day to keep them kind of rolling. So I like to kind of mix it up. I do like for drivers to be open. I can't say I want you to stay out forever, right? But if you can give me a week, at least 2 weeks of time that you can roll and then come on home, that works well for me, and we can actually seed along money and strategically trip plan for you and make sure that you can achieve the goals that you have for yourself. I like people who are realistic, who understand the business, and if they don't understand the business, that are willing to learn the business, and learn into what they need to research and what they need to look at to understand the business. Because oftentimes we have so many people that have convoluted the social media space with misinformation and setting these high expectations, right? And so a lot of people got into the industry during COVID when we were seeing abnormal rates, astronomical rates that are not even industry norms, right? And so now this is in 2019. So when I look at the data of where the market was then versus where the market is right now, we're actually starting to see it stabilize a little bit. But what happened is everyone's over leveraged. People were spending $100,000 on box trucks and 75, even that much, right? So when you have high costs like that, you don't leave yourself any room for margin and fluctuation in the market, which was just a crazy business time.
I couldn't believe it. I never heard any. I remember box trucks was like $2,500. So when I heard people, saying like they spent $100,000 on box truck, I was like, why didn't you buy a semi truck and a trailer? Like you could have bought a semi truck and a trailer. It blows my mind.
Right.
But like you said, lack of information. And let's go back to that mentorship, and that's why it's so important. So do you do in-person classes or do you do virtual classes? How do that work?
So I saved this announcement for your podcast, right? So we are taking our dispatching classes on the road. So I do have a online version that people can sign up for, and it's a value priced at $499, and I also do an option where they can split it up into 2 payments once a month for $249.99, right? I want people to really be able to get into this industry, and not just get into the industry, but get real valuable information and be a part of the community. Not just the training, but the inner circle. We have our private Discord network. We do bi-weekly Zoom calls and then weekly Zoom calls for their accountability groups, to really bring them into that community. And now I've kind of dissected my analytics, right? And so the top 5 cities that watch me are going to be getting in-person dispatch trainings available from me. We're going to run a full 6-week tour. So we're going to be touching in Houston, Dallas, Charlotte. Lord, what were the other 2? Of course, it just left me. Houston, Dallas, Charlotte, Chicago, and
Atlanta.
Atlanta. How did you know? Yes, and Atlanta. Yes. So those are going to be the cities that we hit. I'm going to open those up, and it's going to be a 3-day event, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so people to get really hands-on in-person time with me. They'll still get access to the course after that. They'll still get access to the Inner Circle Discord and all of those things, but to really take the learning experience in person. So that's a live announcement for Low Money Trucking. So I'm super excited to plan that and get that on the road this summer.
That's so awesome. How many people have you mentored?
So I have over 200 people in the program from the time, right, man? God is so good. I know I'm excited about it, right? Because I'm like, little old me, I'm like me. but it has been
ATL.
I won't forget. But yes, so I've been able to really reach a lot of people, and we do have new signups every day. People joining the community and entering in the program and entering into the mentorship. I also people can book calls with me, and I only charge $60 for a call. You get 45 minutes with me to just pick my brain, to ask questions. I am a tough coach. I don't sugarcoat. You're gonna have to come with it. But we all need that, right? We all need somebody that makes us rise to the level that we're actually at, and that's super important. We have to have people hold us accountable in life to get us where we need to go. Now, again, I can't want it for you, but I will make sure that you don't cut no corners, and I will work with you as hard as you're willing to work for yourself.
Absolutely. That means she's setting you up for success, because you have to be tough in this industry. You have to be tough in this industry. So you said you have ebooks and you have court. Do you have an ebook?
Yes, ma'am. I do have an ebook. I do have the How I Started a Dispatch Company in 2 Weeks ebook. That's $24.99 if anyone's interested in that as well too. And I just really go over step by step all of the things that you need to have set up. There's links to go ahead and purchase the training from there. But all of the dispatch forms that you need, any contracts and agreements that you need for the company are listed in there as well. I also do have a dispatch journal on Amazon for $7.11 that you can utilize every day as you're calling and speaking with brokers, calling on different loads, to write down that information to just make it a little bit easier for you to work throughout your day as well too.
Awesome. She got a lot of tools and resources for y'all. So y'all make sure y'all tap in. Make sure you are tapped in. You spoke about government contracts and FEMA loads and different things of that. I wanted to go back for our last 15 minutes and kind of like dive into it, because being a double minority, woman-owned, Black,
yes, ma'am,
it's so important. Like, you can use that as leverage. So let's talk about how, as women, we got to be out here getting these certifications so you can be able to get some of the contracts. So you want to dig deep in and telling them how to go about getting that. If you offer it, do you offer helping with certifications? And
so I do help with your SAM.gov certification. And that's one thing that everyone should have, right? Because it's free to get registered in SAM. It's free to get your UEI number, right? Once you get registered in SAM. And you also want to go ahead and get your cage code as well. Right. So these are all things that I believe all carriers, even as a dispatch, even as a freight broker, you can accept or bid on government contracts. That's super, super important. And there's a lot of opportunity there. Again, especially being double minorities, or I'm sure we have some people that are veteran-owned businesses, right? That also can capitalize. And I think a lot of people miss the part that 25% of all government contracts are set aside for set-asides, right? So those who can have additional certifications. So the money is there. And I know a lot of times it's very hard for us to get into it, but I urge everyone to go to their local SBA department, because this, again, is a free resource that you all have access to, right? Go to your SBA department, get signed up with a PTAC officer. That's your PTAC officer, right? Someone that can help you navigate what it is that you're trying. That can help you navigate what it is that you're trying to do, right? Because there's no time stamp on how long you need to be in business in order for you to get a government contract, right? So you just having your business set up properly already has you ready to put your name in the hat. So I urge everyone to do that. Go meet down with your local SBA, also your local Chamber of Commerce. Huge opportunity there, unmissed opportunity. I even urge you to join your local Chamber of Commerce. You will find some local shippers there, people who have products, cold storage units. You don't know who's available to you in your area. So they have directories online, free, that you can access, of people that you can network, partner yourself with. They host dinners and galas, and all of these things are ways for you to rub shoulders with the people that can help put you in those places or give you those opportunities that you need to. And I urge you to put yourself out there the same way I put myself out here to work with Miss Sheree, right? And this beautiful platform that she has built and the opportunity that she provides for people. You just never continue to align your business that way. And as far as FEMA is concerned, I know that they only do acceptance like once a year, and you have to fill out the application for them. But I would definitely go to FEMA.gov and start looking at how to become a carrier for FEMA, right? Look at that from the beginning. I remember working, and I don't want to get too gruesome, but I remember working during the pandemic. I had someone with a refrigerator van who had a contract to assist in COVID, right? To help them house and to move things, right? So, I mean, the work is there. Somebody's got to do it, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to put ourselves in those spaces, and just get and have your stuff in order, right? Get your house in order, especially right now with everything that's happening within the economy, knowing that we're coming up on hurricane season. In the winter times, we have all these natural disasters and things that happen, or people needing water, or whatever the case may be. Get your house in order. Be focused on not just jumping into the industry and getting on the spot market, but niching down in your business. Figuring out what you can capitalize on, whether it be hazmat, whether it be refrigerated, right? Find something that you can specialize in and exploit that market, right? It's yours for the taking.
That's great information. First of all, you just pivoted into my next question. How valuable is a driver who have those endorsements, if they have the hazmat and the tanker endorsements? How valuable is that driver?
Super, right? Tell carriers all the time, even Twit Card, right? That's just another avenue that you can have to position yourself to take loads that others cannot. And having your hazmat endorsement is awesome, but you want to make sure that you're also partnering yourself with the carrier that is hazmat certified as well too, right? So carriers must have their HMIDs. They need to have the correct hazmat insurance. They also need to have training programs in place to make our transport hazmat safely, and that they understand placarding, right? So make sure that you're asking those. I tell drivers all the time, interview your carriers the same way that they're interviewing you, right? Ask them those questions. Figure out exactly where their company stands, what they're looking to do, where they're looking to take their company, and make sure that you're going to be a good fit and that you can grow with them as well as they can grow with you. So endorsements are huge. I advocate for that, right? If you can just take a test and get something that's going to make you more money, why wouldn't you?
Right. You have to be qualified to really get to that long money. So
that's it.
Qualified, everybody get qualified. You spoke about the rail, going to the rails as well. That's another way, you can just do rail freight. But as a carrier, you just can't just pick up unless you have the following certifications. So let's go into that. Like your UIA and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. To be an intermodal carrier, you absolutely need your UIA. So I tell carriers all the time, especially those that start, when you start getting into this industry and you start making money, a lot of times people want to see profits so fast, right? But let's understand, when you start a new business, it may be 3 to 5 years in business before you start making a profit, before you even know if this business is going to be a success or even be sustainable, right? Mm-hmm. So as you're starting and you're starting to see a surplus in money, don't take that money and put it in your pocket. Reinvest that money back into your business, right? Go out and get your UIA certification, purchase the additional insurance that's required, right? Purchase trailer interchange insurance, purchase hazmat insurance, up your cargo from 100,000 to 250,000 so that you can qualify for higher paying freight or higher paying load, or even go get your carrier registration to haul alcohol. Right? These are even other avenues that they could capitalize in and take advantage of. So my biggest thing is reinvesting your money back into your business and putting yourself in a position to continue to grow your business, even if it's buying additional assets like more trailers, or if you are currently renting a trailer, or you're in a dry van trailer, or you're in a reefer trailer and you want to be able to take advantage of flatbed freight at some point. That way you're not stuck in one lane, and then when one season ends, now the money stops, right? When we look at the course of a year, right? Let's say a carrier or a driver drives 3 weeks and they're out for 1 week every month. That means that you only have 9 months of true operating time within your business. You're not even getting a full year to accrue revenue. So when you're looking at it from that perspective, and you're going to have 3 months totaling off at the end of the year, and you only have 9 months to make the money, it's a lot more serious when we're looking at that bottom line. So being able to put yourself in a position during those 9 months to continue to expand and grow your business is going to be super important. And anyone that's looking to get into the industry or is already in the industry, if you're not already thinking like that, I urge you to start thinking like that. on ways that you can grow your business, or even right now, instead of worrying about rates, how can you reduce things in your business, right? How can you save on insurance? How can you save more money on fuel, whether it's the Relay app or getting a fuel card, right? These things truly can help increase your margins without you having to haggle with brokers about money. So make sure that you're getting lean in your business, that you're really focusing on efficiency in your business. And that's going to also help you to protect your bottom line and increase your margins too.
Absolutely. Totally agree. I'm going to ball this up because that was hit on my next question. How to save money and keep these truckers in business. She just told you how to do that. So that's why you see my balled up piece of paper over here. I throw it away because she already gave it to you. And I like people like you that's transparent and that will tell you, hey, this is what you need to do to be successful. So what are you reading? Like, do you read or what are you listening to?
Oh, I am a reader. I'm a reader. I talk about books all the time. So, right now I got the book right here. So this is what I'm reading right now. So leadership, not by the book. And so this is written by the owner of Hobby Lobby.
Really?
Yeah. So he talks about in this book, he's talking about his unorthodox leadership style, where he was really used God and faith within his business to help build his business principles that the business was on. And you know that he just recently gave his business away. He didn't even sell it. He gave it away because that's what he felt like he was instructed to do. And so this talks about being obedient in your business and being able to take guidance from him. So I told you, God is literally the head of my life. So this right here has been a really good book. I read the last book that I read the other month, maybe it was like 2 months back. I read What Would the Rockefellers Do? That was a good read. Just speaking on, we can all make money, but what do you do when you get the money, right? That's my biggest thing. We can make the money, but what we going to do when we get it? Because we got to keep it. It's not about how much you make, it's how much you keep. Right. So really learning about building trust to create generational wealth, IU Wells, being able to model these things and set these things up for our families, right? Because we all are out here hustling for a reason, right? It's not just for free. We out here to leave something behind, to build something. So we want to protect our assets and protect our brands and what we've built. So that was another really good book that I read too. So I'm on a journey right now, a book a month to get things done. So
I love it.
Yeah, I read. And I think everyone should read. If you don't, make a mini goal, even if you just read 3 books a year, right? Or 6 books a year, you're reading more than like 80% of America, right?
Absolutely.
So read.
Have you wrote a book yet?
Man, that's confirmation. I literally was on the phone today and I was telling one of my friends, I can't wait till I write my book. And I haven't yet, but that's in the works. The autobiography of Gretchen Long is in the works.
Yes, you got to write a book. You have to. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes. It's been a pleasure having you on the show today. How can people find you? How do people follow you?
Long Money Trucking on all platforms. Long Money Trucking on all platforms. Give me a follow, like, and share, and subscribe, you guys. I'll go live on TikTok, as Ms. Sheree pointed out at the beginning of this, Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And before we get up out of here, I just want to, can you cue your applause for you, Ms. Sheree, for just creating a platform like this, for welcoming me with open arms, for just being a delight to work with, and just really having this opportunity. I'm stoked. I was super excited about this, and I just think it's awesome. And I pray that God continue to bless and uplift the She Trucking podcast and anything that it is that you set out to do, because you absolutely are the woman in trucking that is creating opportunity for the rest of us.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And I wish you much success. Shout out to the Inner Circle. I mean, y'all showed up. They showed up tonight.
Hello. I know that's right. I appreciate each and every one of the gang in the building. I love y'all.
Yeah. And listen, you're welcome back here on the She Trucking podcast anytime. I'm gonna try to talk her into becoming a host on one of the days. Maybe we can put she go live already on Monday through Thursday. So Monday, and have her come live on the She Trucking podcast as well. Inner Circle, pressure her in that background. Y'all get her over here, because we love bringing women of leadership, women in the industry on our platform and give y'all a seat at the table. So look at the inner circle. They just showing out tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, look, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey said, come on. She is the founder of CTR Media, the CEO of CTR Media Network. She said, come on over. You have a home here. So we would love to have you and continue to keep building the relationship here on the in our community. So new to this chat, been so she trucking. Thank you so much for joining. Last words. Okay, here's your last words. I'm going to give you the spotlight. And I always ask somebody to leave us either a quote or words of encouragement. I love quotes. Okay. So your favorite quote.
Oh, my favorite quote. Ooh, on the spot with it. Look, I'm gonna leave words of encouragement because it's leaving me right now. But I'm gonna tell everybody to continue to stay down for your dreams. Continue to stay focused on your dreams, no matter what you may have been going through. No matter if you get knocked down. No matter if what you're going through wipes you out. Know that if you got to the bottom, that you're on your way back up to the top. So stay focused, stay encouraged, and believe that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.
Amen. Amen. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Today we had Miss Gretchen Long from Long Money Trucking, and she is amazing, y'all. Definitely go and check her out on TikTok. It's still going. Her TikTok is Long Money Trucking at the bottom of the screen. So make sure you check her out. Please like this video, share, and subscribe to the She Trucking YouTube page so you don't miss any shows. I'm gonna be on her, y'all, to try to get her on here where we can be able to get at least once a month. If she can come back once a month and talk about that dispatching life, talk about what's going on in trucking, because she has really blessed us today. And so we are here live every Sunday, and on Mondays we have the Trucking Reality Talk with Nicole Ward. Again, I'm your founder, Sheree Moore with She Trucking. I'm sorry, I see y'all comments. Dispatching company started in 2021. Love the trucking industry. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look at all the love from her inner circle, y'all. And she did an amazing job. Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you all again for tuning in. We'll be back live again tomorrow with Nikki Nicole Ward on the Trucking Reality Talk on the She Trucking podcast, powered by CTR Media Network.
Are you a female truck driver looking to connect with other women in the industry? Or a company in the trucking industry looking to support and empower women drivers? Look no further than She Trucking. Our community is dedicated to providing resources, support, and networking opportunities for women in the trucking industry. Join us and connect with a diverse group of women drivers, access exclusive content and events, and discover tools and resources to help you succeed on the road.
A local 4-year-old boy named King may be a reading and writing king. He's using his early reading skills to help other children, as Riley Nagel reports.
At 4 years old, King Chambers is already a superhero with super strength, super speed, and most importantly, the ability to read.
There's a boy named King. He was a very smart student who loved to read and learn new things.
King recently wrote his first book, titled King the Dream, which is about a superhero who teaches others how to read.
He loved reading, he loved math. He's just very, very smart.
King's mother, Jennifer Ellis, says he learned how to read at the age of 2.
And I read books to him all the time. Even when he was in the womb, I read books, and he loved it.
How many books would you say you've read so far?
I read 90 books.
Ellis says once King started mastering more and more books, he told his mom he wanted to write a book about himself as a superhero.
And he came up with he could teach kids how to read. And so we helped him put it all together, put his dream in a book.
King is very proud of his book, and he even wanted to teach everyone at Local 3 how to read.
He loved to teach kids how to read. Anytime he see a kid, he let them know about his book. And they are so excited because it's nothing like having your own peer teach you how to read.
Ellis says she has no secrets to teaching a child how to read, but she says reading to them at night may help.
There's no rule book to parenting, but just give them 100% the best of you and all the love because they're our future.
Ellis says she isn't sure what's in store for King's future, but she knows it's bright. King will be starting school next year, and we're all very excited to see his accomplishments and his next book.
The end.
Reporting in Chattanooga, I'm Riley Nagel, Local 3 News.
Big news! My book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success. Our book has been named #1 on Book Authority's Best New Podcasting Books for 2023 list. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and my book. It's a great honor to receive this recognition, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. Read the article on www.bookauthority.org. If you haven't had a chance to check out my book yet, you can find it on Amazon.com. If you're in the Atlanta area, don't miss The Power of Podcasting event on May 6th. Each ticket purchase comes with a signed copy of the #1 book. Grab your tickets now before they're gone. www.ctrmedianetwork.com.
Welcome, everybody, to Wisdom Tip. I am so glad that you're here tonight. I have a surprise for you tonight. I'm so excited. I can't hardly stand it, but I'm going to calm myself down. But I think you're going to enjoy it. I have a special guest today. And those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Connie Green. I'm here to give you some wisdom tips for today. And if you know anybody would like to be able to hear some drops and nuggets from me on tonight. We're going to be talking about some exciting things about being disrupted and the importance of having a disruptive life positively, not negatively. Okay. And so we're going to get on and we're going to go ahead and get started. We're getting ready to air episode 62 of Wisdom Tips Show. And we're going to dive into the profound transformational power of wisdom on today. I am so excited. Like I said, I have this special guest that's coming, and we're going to be talking about how we can deal with having wisdom through the disruptive intervention for positive change. Let me say that again. We're embarking in a journey to learn how to have wisdom through disruptive intervention for positive change. Oh, I know you want to go ahead and just share right now this broadcast with someone so you can understand what this is all about. I think you're going to really, really enjoy it once it's breaking down and explained a little bit better. You will be surprised exactly what that is. All right. So I am so honored tonight to drop the mic for my husband. He's going to be the one to drop pearls of true wisdom, giving us the tools that we need to live a victorious life. Hello, Dr. Green.
Hello, sweetheart.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good right now.
I'm so excited to have you on tonight.
I'm glad to be with you.
So excited. I asked Dr. Green, which is my husband, to come on tonight because the Lord downloaded something in his mind, and he got up at 3:00 in the morning the other day and he wrote it down, and it was so profound. I said, honey, you've got to be on Wisdom Tips tonight to share it with the people. It was so profound. I just couldn't believe it. So I'm sure he's going to tell you more of the story. But those of you that don't know my husband, his name is Dr. Roger Green. He is a bishop and a senior pastor of Prayer and Deliverance Tabernacle, and I am his assistant pastor. He's also a marriage and family counselor. He holds a Juris Doctorate degree. He's a serial entrepreneur, real estate developer, and a licensed contractor. So I'm so excited to have him tonight. So if you want to hear more about Dr. Roger Green Sr., please share this broadcast with somebody. You're gonna be very excited with the nuggets that he's gonna give us tonight. I am so excited. So go ahead, share. Let somebody know that Roger Green Sr., Bishop Dr. Roger Green Sr. is on the air tonight. So, honey, I'm going to ask you a few questions since people don't know you. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to share with us a little bit about yourself. So, number one, I would like to ask you, who was the greatest influence in your life?
I would say the greatest influence would be my grandfather. He would be my greatest influence because he walked in the place of my father. I never knew my father, so my grandfather would be my greatest influence. But there are some other professionals that were great influences. I had great influences on my life. One in particular, it was Judge Clifton E. Johnson, who he's going on to be with the Lord now, but he was one of the first Superior Court judges in Mecklenburg County, and he was a great influence. And another was an assistant principal by the name of James McDonald, was a great influence, and not to mention my former pastor, Bishop Edward C. Roberts of Calvary Christian Church of the Apostolic Faith. He was a great influence. So I had a lot of influencers in my life, and I'm proud of that.
Well, great. Number two, who are you living for, and what kind of things that you would like to impact in the lives of people? So who would you say you're living for? You're living your life for to impact?
Impact wise is the young people as well as the middle age. Us old folks, we've had our opportunity. So really, it would serve no purpose to download all the information that I have to somebody that's going the same place I'm going.
Right.
So it's the young people that we need to download this information that we have through experience, so that they can be benefited by it, and they should be doing the same thing when they reach this plateau.
So I guess you would say you want to be empty before you die and give out
That's right.
all that you can to the youth and those that need to know about life, because you live the life, you've seen a lot of things, you have a lot of wisdom. And I remember someone told me, an older lady told me one time, that there are so many gifted and talented people in the grave that never mentor others to be able to move forward and
Right.
be able to do the things that needed to be done in the life that we're living in. So thank you for that information. Number 3, what is the thing that makes you unique?
What is the thing that makes me unique? Well, first of all, God made me unique, since there's no twin. Uh, but the thing that I would say that makes me unique is my ability to forgive, move forward without anger.
That's great. That's great. And that's very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
important. Well, tell me some things that you're passionate about. I mean, you're at the age now, you've seen it all, you've done a lot of things, you've traveled, and you've been preaching all over the country and teaching and pointing to people. You are a developer, you build buildings, and you're still pastoring at the age that you are now. So what makes you have that drive and be so passionate about what you're doing?
Well, first of all, you must always maintain passion,
Mm,
uh, which is purpose. When you have no purpose, then God has no reason for you to be here.
wow.
So you got
Mm,
to maintain purpose.
amen.
Always, no matter how old you get, you should still have purpose. It's important for you to remember that, that if you don't have purpose, then why are you here?
Right.
And God would ask, if he asked the same question, then he would have to answer by removing you, because you
Mm,
serve no practical purpose. You have
wow.
no purpose. You're just here. You're just in the way.
Mhm,
And so that's why it's so important to keep purpose. I'll always keep purpose, even if it's just going fishing. I'll
mhm.
always keep purpose. You got to always have purpose.
So what would you say the problem that you was here on the earth to help solve people's problems? What do you think you're good at, that you're good at solving, that you are unique and you got that gift that nobody else has just like you? So what are some of those things that
But
you have in your gifts and talents that God has given you that you put on this earth to solve?
I think it's arbitration and mediation,
Mm.
conflict resolution.
So is that why
Uh,
you became a lawyer?
mm, it could be. I can't answer that. Because I never really thought about the reason why I became a lawyer, other than um, economic deprivation.
Mm,
I needed to grow economically, because I grew up in impoverished and without a lot of instruction, direction, or infrastructure, and
mhm,
so I knew I had to build whatever I was going to build, from the ground up. And this is why I guess the title of my book I just released is From Ground Zero to Greatness. And it sounds like it's a short distance, but it's a long step to go from ground zero to greatness. But it can be done. Can be done.
Thank
It's
you
a
so
how-to book.
Thank you so much for those answers tonight. Very impactful, and I'm sure people are going to enjoy hearing some of these testimonies. So let's get to the show topic that we're talking about tonight. I am so excited to have you on to talk about uh, what is the disruptive intervention for positive change.
Well,
When the
well,
Lord woke you up the other morning, you said He spoke that to you exactly what is that? Can you share that with the people to give us a little bit more understanding what it's all about?
Yeah, it's called disruptive progress intervention, DPI. And first, I have to confess why God gave me this. I don't know, except there is an issue. There's something in my life that's impeding my success, and it's been there for quite some time. And I think I got to the place where I sort of ignored it and keep ignoring it. But then God reminded me that I'm not going anywhere until I resolve it. And so it's just been a great big old disruption. It's been a great big old impediment that should have been moved long time ago, but for the motivation and the compassion and the wisdom to recognize that, hey, this thing's in your way, and until you move it, you can't reach your destination, right? And
Right.
so God even gave me this topic, this disruptive progress intervention, and it is what it involves. It involves taking strategic action to address or mitigate disruptions. Disruption, disruptions. I'm telling you, they are everywhere, and they come from everyone, through everyone, and they can be of any characteristic. And so you have to be mindful of disruptions. All right. And so I'm talking about the ones that impede or stop your progress. All right. And I want to give you an example of a disruptive progress disruptive intervention situation. Say you're driving down the road and you're on a one-lane road and it's one way, and a tree fall across the road and you can't drive across it, and you can't move it because it's too heavy. So now you've been disrupted. No matter what your plans are, what your goals might be, until you move that tree, you're going nowhere. And so these are the kinds of obstacles that I'm talking about that are in the lives of the people that oftentimes they disappear into the woodwork, and they're part of your subconscious, and you never really get around to moving them out of the way. And so this is the call, a clarion call for you to identify those impediments or those obstacles that has disrupted your progress and move them out of the way. And so that is what this is all about. Now, I didn't go to sleep, nor did I go to bed with the idea or the notion that I got this problem and God, I need you to help me solve it. I wasn't even really thinking about it. I'm trying to get some shut eye, you know, but God deals with me in dreams. And so it became a dream. But then God spoke to me. I every night I do this, and I would recommend it to anyone. Always keep a notepad or something to make notes on your nightstand or by your bedside, because sometimes God will download things to you. But what God told me in this particular instance, He said to me, wake up and write this down, because if you don't, when you wake up, you will not remember it. Okay. And so when God tells you to wake up, I'm game. So I woke up, sat outside of the bed, and made these notes. And God just continued to add to it when I woke up, and I was still able to retain what I had written. So this disruptive progress intervention involves identifying the sources and getting rid of them. And so the question today is, what is in your way? What's in your way? what's standing between you and your success. uh, and we need to be specific. We need to be specific. Uh, Everybody's not standing in your way, so forget that one. Be specific as to what it is that if you could alleviate it, you would be able to move to the next level. All right. And so you have to spend some time identifying and thinking about what that obstacle is. And so when you do that, um, you can you can move forward. You can go to the next level. I don't know how we're doing on time, but I have identified 5 wisdom tips to stop disruptions that impede or stop your progress. And I wanted to share those with you very briefly before we can conclude our program.
Okay, but before you give the tips, we're gonna go on to break. But before we go to break, I want you to kind of talk just a little bit about the negativity piece. When you said
Okay.
the Lord woke you up,
Yeah,
and it was you was going through something that day. You got a disturbing phone call, as a matter of fact,
that was the following morning.
the following morning. And
Yeah,
so
that was after the fact.
when God downloaded that to you, you said it encouraged you to let you know that it was just a disruption, and so you wasn't going to allow that to spoil your day, so to speak. Can you share a little bit on that end?
Right, but that was after the download. Um, the thing that came to my mind was the fact that there are a lot of negative influences that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, and these influences are disruptive. They disrupt our thought patterns. They disrupt our actions. They disrupt us or impede us from reaching goals that we have set for ourselves, and they're founded in upon negativity. And so, in order to go forward, you have to remove all of the negative disruptions in your life, and
So,
to move forward.
so in other words, in life, no matter what we do, when we try to obtain greatness or make another step, go to school, get a new job, change jobs or whatever, getting married, have kids, it's going to always be a disruption that's going
Right.
to try to stop you from moving forward, or
Right.
discourage you for
Right.
being in the place that you basically are. Right.
That's right.
Thank
That's
you so
right.
much. We really appreciate that and how you explained it to us. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. So what it's basically saying, the way I got it was, when we get overwhelmed and we get depressed and we get overwhelmed from working, it seems like nothing is getting any better. We're not getting the job that we want. We're not getting the raises, and the children are not doing any better in school, and you just get overwhelmed with so many things in life we can get overwhelmed by. Then when we do all of those things, we can realize that it's natural for the enemy to come and disrupt your plans. Somebody ought to put that in the comment. The devil just basically want to disrupt your plans, so he's going to always put a monkey wrench in anything that you're doing when you start progressing in life and things start happening positively for you. So we can't allow the negativity to come. We can't allow the enemy to sit up on our shoulders and talk in our ears about craziness. So we don't have to participate in that negativity and craziness that sometimes the enemy tries to put on us to get us to stop doing what we was called to do and giving up. Some of us, we give up too easy because it's hard. But sometimes God wants us to push us out into the deep waters. There's a scripture that says how you need to go into the deep, because when you're in the deep waters, if you can't swim, you may feel like you may drown. So you're afraid to jump into the deep waters. You want to stay on the edge where you're comfortable. So sometimes God don't want to he does not allow us to be comfortable. So he puts things in our way to disrupt what we're doing, so we can learn how to build some muscles and move forward. All right. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
so much,
the main
Dr.
thing is that it keeps us from really seeing what's important.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
thank you so much. At this time, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, Dr. Green is going to give us 5 wisdom tips for being how we can deal with being disrupted in our lives. Okay. So before we go to the break, I want to remind you all to please share this broadcast with someone. Tell somebody about this broadcast. Tell them that Dr. Roger Green Sr. is on. He's got some great information that he's going to share with us in the end. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to break right now. When we come back, Dr. Green is going to share with us the 5 tips that we have on for wisdom tips on disruption, not participating in foolishness. We're going to be disrupted, but he's going to give us some encouragement on how we can get through it. God bless you. We'll see you when we get back.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've been enjoying this. I know I have. I am so excited now to hear from Dr. Roger Green Sr., which happens to be my pastor and my husband, for those of you that don't know him. We're going to be talking about disruption, the intervention of disruption, so we can have positive outcome in our lives. Sometimes we give up on life when things stop us and we just feel like, well, I'll just do it another time, or I'm not going to go to school, or it didn't work out. Have you ever heard somebody say that? I know I have before. When things seem like it didn't work out, I just feel like, well, maybe that's not God. I'm not going to move forward. But no. There's going to always be a disruption in your life, and you got to keep pushing forward and don't stop. All right, never stop. If God called you to do anything, if you feel in your spirit that you're gifted in an area, don't give up. You may say, well, somebody's better than me. They can sing better than me. They can write better than me. And that may be true, but you are different, fearfully and wonderfully made. God got a gift just for you. So don't let the devil stop you when those disruptions come your way. We want to go ahead and we're going to just let God have his way. We're going to intervene and not participate in that disruption. We're going to intervene and stop it. If I'm upset, I'm going to stop being upset. If I feel like I'm afraid, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to pray, and God's going to help me, because he didn't give me the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So we're going to disrupt him. We're going to intervene and say, not today, devil. Hallelujah. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I'm going to stop talking because we got to get to these 5 tips, and I'm so excited. I know he's got some good stuff for us. And those of you that's just tuning in, we have been sharing disruption innovation for positive change. And so we want you to just share this broadcast with someone if you'd like it, and we certainly appreciate it. And those of you that don't know, Dr. Green also is an author. He talked a little bit to us about his book and what the book is all about. And if you're interested in it, just go ahead and just inbox me, and I'll make sure that you get a copy of his book. So at this time, we're going to go on to wisdom tips. Wisdom tips number 1. Dr. Green, I'm going to let you go ahead with your wisdom tips now. The first one is identifying and anticipating potential disruptions. All right. Tip number 1. All right. Could you go ahead now, Dr. Green, and you can talk to us.
Expound on that one. Yes. First of all, we have to understand, number 1, you cannot stop disruptions. You cannot stop. They're going to come. But what I need you to do is to get ahead of the game by anticipating and the conduct through a thorough analysis and identify these potential disruptions before they come. It takes a little bit of foresight, a little bit of looking ahead. Sometimes you can see some things coming before they get here. And that's what one of the strategies is for overcoming these disruptions through wisdom, right? And so we have to address or assess the internal and external factors that come into play when it comes to disruption. Sometimes technological advancements can cause a disruption because we don't know how to navigate the new technology. And so we have to keep ourselves, we have to anticipate these things and sort of stay abreast of what's going on, or stay up to date with what's going on, and identify these factors. Most of the greatest disruptions come from internal secrets, things that nobody know about but you, that's holding you back. Good example. I dropped out of college for 2 years to keep from taking accounting 1, 2, 3 and cost. and until I realized that, hey, I've got to navigate this, and if others are doing it, why can't I? So I went back, ended up making the honor grade all the way through. But look how long it took me to identify the fact that my progress had been disrupted because I had allowed this to stand in my way, and nobody else knew what it was. Nobody knew that was the reason why I didn't go back and register the next semester. It was because of fear, false evidence appearing real, fear. And so that's one of that's number 1 that we need to do. We need to identify the potential things. There are certain things that are going on in our lives that we can identify as being potentially disruptive, and we can get ahead of those and cut them off before they ever be able to take root.
Okay, now we're going to go on to number 2 because we're running out of time. So if you could just share with us very briefly on fostering the culture of adaptability.
Fostering a culture of adaptability and innovation. Yeah. You want to have, first of all, to foster that, you need to have a culture of change about you. And your inner circle. You need to encourage your inner circle to have that same culture because change is inevitable. There has to be some changes.
So we have to adapt. We have to adapt to things and not just give up, right?
Right. You have to really. You should be ready for change. Look at the automobile industry, from the first automobile to where we are today. How many changes have taken place?
Many.
Yeah. And so that's the same way in our lives. We have to continue to change or be susceptible to change and embrace it.
All right.
Embrace change. In fact, that was part of the series we just finished on elevation. And
Absolutely.
so,
Tip number
so this
3.
will involve find new approaches to problem solving
Mm-hmm.
and generate innovative ideas. Don't kill ideas, generate them. Sometimes you need to just make a note of ideas, even if you're not ready for them at that particular moment or that particular time. Write
Mm.
them down anyway, because they may become relevant later on, and you will have missed the whole idea that was coming your way.
That's great. Innovation. I like that. Tip number 3.
Develop contingency plan.
Mm-hmm.
Contingency plan is an alternative plan. Most of us, we got a plan A, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and we might have a plan B. And our goal is, if plan A don't work, go to plan B. And if plan B don't work, go back to plan A, which already failed for you.
So we need
So
a contingency plan
contingency plans
and stick with it.
need to be complete,
Absolutely.
so that irrespective of what happens, you have a way to pivot or sidestep whatever's coming after you and continue moving forward towards your goal.
Okay.
It is a plan that deals with things that can go wrong.
Okay. Tip number 4.
Tip number 4:
Strong
build
collaboration.
strong collaborative network.
Okay.
I have been told that the number 1 is too insignificant to make any great change,
Mm.
great progress. So therefore, we need collaborative networks. We need to collaborate with other folk who are on the move, folks who are doing something, folks who are about something, folks who are trying to accomplish something, and more specifically, folks that are going the way we're going. All
That's
right.
great. Thank you.
And
Tip number 5. I think that's the last one.
right. Tip number 5 is a continuous monitoring of these disruptive uh, interventions
Mm.
and flexibility. Flexibility. We cannot be so rigid. We can't be rigid. Rigid. You know why glass breaks so easy? It's because it's rigid.
Wow.
It has zero flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Glass cannot bend at all.
Mm.
It breaks
It breaks.
because it has no bend. We cannot afford not to be able to have flexibility. Flexibility means that even if plan A fails or plan B fails, I still have a plan.
Wow.
Why? Because I'm flexible.
Because you're flexible. Mm.
I'm flexible. What I may be trying to accomplish, I may not be able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, but my flexibility is going to allow me to accomplish something great. And the wisdom that I would give you for that notion is this: aim for the moon, you may land upon the stars. And so, irrespective of which one you land upon, you up there. And so that's the whole idea, is to get up there.
Thank you so much, Pastor Hubby. Thank you so much for being here. That was excellent. Thank you so much. I know I have enjoyed it. I know the team has enjoyed it, and I know those that are going to be coming in even from the replay is going to enjoy it. This is some good stuff. We might have to do part 2. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know you're very busy, but you took your time out to be with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Well, you guys, it's going to be it for this week's episode of Wisdom Tips. Please join us again on next week at 7:00 p.m. on Thursday evening, Eastern Standard Time. And also, you can also join me on Facebook, YouTube, CTR Media Network, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And be sure to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to click the notification button so you will be reminded every time we upload new content. And remember, we ain't got no time for tears and fears. Wisdom is the principal thing. And all that get an understanding so you can live a victorious life. God bless you, dear hearts. I'll see you next week. Welcome to Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green. I'm here today dropping pearls of true wisdom, giving you the tools that you would need to live a victorious life. I'm so excited that you tuned in today, and I'm excited about this topic for today. It's wisdom and happiness in difficult times. Now, I know you're saying happiness in difficult times. Now, that's going to be hard, right? That's going to be hard. How can you be happy in difficult times? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. So let me share with you at this time. One of the things I want to share with you that I know, number one, that is difficult. It's very difficult, but you know, it can be done. We can learn it from the precepts and examples in the Word of God. And we can learn to be happy no matter what we face, no matter what difficult situations we face in life. It does not matter, because you can overcome and bounce back and be happy. When we look in the book of Philippians in chapter 1, God's word teaches us about happiness and how we can be happy in those difficult times. And that's what we're going to share with you today in the book coming from Philippians. You know, I know it's very difficult, as I said, you know, because this world has just gone crazy. You know, we've been through a lot, you know, all the way from the pandemic that we faced. She was sheltered in, systemic racism, the senseless murder of Black males. And then all around the world, even now, people are facing difficult situations and the murder of young kids and family members in Ukraine. And then, you know, we've lost jobs even during the COVID. Even now, some of us have lost jobs. We've lost our companies. You know, we lost our home, lost our wealth. Some of us have even lost our loved ones in death and families during this time. And you may wonder, how in the world can anybody be happy no matter what when things happen in your life? Well, let's look at Philippians. Let's see Philippians. In Philippians, we'll see here where the Bible talks about how we can be positive because he wrote the whole book, Paul did, on happiness. He was happy, you know, he learned how to be happy for the circumstances and situations that he went through in the Bible. So we can learn how to be happy with the skills and the tools that the Philippians book taught us. Paul was determined, I believe, when he wrote this book, because he went through so many things, and we're going to talk about it and share with you a few moments later. But he was positive despite of what he was going through. You know, he wrote the book. He was in prison during that time, you know, in the Roman army, you know, in prison, in a dungeon, the word of God says. And did you know he was chained to a guard 24 hours a day? And Paul was determined no matter what, he was going to be happy. Now think about that. You've been chained with a guard for 24 hours. But you know, God, you know, I think God worked that out for the good. And we're going to talk about that too. And also in Philippians chapter 1:27, it reminds us and tells us, it says, no matter what we go through, no matter what happened, we need to keep a good conduct ourselves in a manner that is worthy of the good news of Jesus Christ. So we can do this if we just want to do it. But if you don't want to do it, guess what? You won't do it. So but when we're going through those difficult times, the first thing most of us do is get mad and we feel sorry for ourselves. Have you been there? I know I have. Things going on in my life even now, and sometimes I get a little bit disappointed, but I always try to bounce back, from that feeling, that negative feeling that we all feel sometimes. So you can do the same thing. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. And then the second thing we do, then we start thinking about all the negative stuff that happened to us years ago, months ago, weeks ago. And then we have a nerve to start writing it down in our head, and having a long list of why we're going through or what we went through. And now we're going through some of the same thing, or we're going through something worse. And so we need to stop that. We need to stop that. I know how you feel. I've done that, and I got the t-shirt. Even just as early as last week, I was, disappointed about some things, and I was worried about the problems. I felt pressure of life. I felt the pain of defeat, because I felt like, oh God, this didn't happen again. What can I do? Feeling sorry for myself. And then I started thinking about those sandpaper people, the sandpaper people that rub you the wrong way, the one that you want to really just do something to, or one you want to just really bless out, but it wouldn't be real churchy, right? It wouldn't be a Christian-like thing to do. So you just sit there and you let them just rub you the wrong way, and you just want to say, Lord, if I could just open up my mouth and really say what I want to say right now, maybe I feel better. But those type of people can really, really rub you the wrong way. And then you have those joy killers, the kind that when you have something exciting that you want to tell somebody that God has called you to do, or some kind of project that you're getting ready to work on, and then you tell somebody that you think going to support you, and they just crush your dreams. First thing they tell you, you can't do that. What makes you think you can do that? I remember years ago when I was young in Christ, and I was praying to God for some things to do and with my life, and I wanted to open up a daycare center because I didn't like the daycares in that area that I was in, because they weren't quality centers. And so I began to pray, and God spoke to my heart to open up a daycare on my own. And so I quit my job. And I remember a lot of joy killers was telling me, why in the world would you quit your job and go and try to open up a daycare? You don't have any experience. You didn't go to school for that. And, it was just joy killers everywhere. My cousins, family members, people on my job. They say, girl, you got a good job. You're working for the city treasurer, your secretary, you got your own office, and people just couldn't figure it out. But I heard God's voice, and I kept pressing forth. And the rest is history. I did open up that daycare, and we had the daycare for 25 years, and God is really, really blessed. And so you can do the same. Don't let those joy killers come and upset you and upset your peace. Just keep moving forward no matter what it looks like. And when we come up against those difficult situations in life, you have two choices. You can either choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. Now, which one are you going to choose? You can be, let me say it again. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. The choice is yours. And you know what? It is not based on the circumstances. It's not based on what you're going through. It is based on your choice and your choice only. Yeah, I know sometimes we get up in the morning on the wrong side of the bed, but you got up because you wanted to be on the wrong side of the bed. All you need to do is get back on the right side of the bed and decide that this is going to be a great day. Look in the mirror and say it to yourself. This is going to be a great day no matter what I'm going through. The devil is a lie. You need to tell the devil, not today, devil. I'm up and I'm going to do whatever I got to do, no matter what it looks like, no matter how much pressure I'm facing on today, I'm going to do it. And then you need to just stop blaming other people for your unhappiness, regardless of the pain, regardless of the depression, regardless of the stress. You've got to stay focused and determined that you have a great day. And another thing we need to stop doing, we need to stop doing the when and the then thing, the when and the then, the when and then. I'll be happy when I get a good job. I'll be happy when I get a new house. I'll be happy when I get a degree. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I lose weight. I'll be happy when I have more money. I'll be happy when I retire. We constantly say that over and over again. But no, you can't wait on those things to happen. You got to be happy right now so those things can be activated in your life. But the truth is that if we don't make a choice to be happy, you're going to deliberately be sad and confused in your decision making by blaming other people for your unhappiness for the rest of your life. So you need to get off that roller coaster right now and decide, I'm going to be happy. Just like Paul. Paul went through so many things, but he stayed focused. He stayed focused, although he spent 4 years in jail. He spent 2 years in Caesarea on false charges. Can you imagine being in prison on false charges? And then after that, he was shipwrecked while he was selling to go to Rome for another trial with Nero, who was the Caesar at that time. And then after that, the shipwreck, he was stranded on an island. And on the island, he was bitten by a poisonous snake. Can you imagine that? Then finally, when he got to Rome, he was put in prison again for 2 years and thrown back into a dark dungeon again, chained to a guard for 24 hours a day. And you know, Paul had every reason to be unhappy. He had every reason to be resentful and depressed, but he kept going. He could have had those tears and fears that I tell all of you when I leave the broadcast. We ain't got time for no tears and fears. Paul didn't have no time for no tears and fears. All he did, he had time to give God praise, because what they didn't know, when he was chained with those guards for 24 hours a day, he was telling them about Jesus. And in the research, they said that Pharaoh's family came to the Lord because of what Paul did. So what they meant for evil, God turned around for the good. Although he was in that dungeon, he wrote almost 75% of the New Testament. See, the devil thought he had him, but he got away. Amen. So God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. And right now we're going to go to break. It's time for break. But when we return from breaks, we're going to share with you some wisdom tips. So stay tuned and come back. And please share this episode. Share it with a friend, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification buttons. And we'll be right back right after this message.
My Father, I know you. You keep me safe. You keep me warm. You teach me tenderness. In the morning, I feel your joy. I look up to you. I gaze unto you as the sun. In every small thing, I see you. And for every small thing, you teach me to give thanks.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, please share this episode with a friend today. Today's topic is wisdom and happiness in difficult times. So please, again, if you're just joining us, share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would certainly appreciate it. Okay, now in Matthew's chapter 5, I want to give you an example before we go through to the wisdom tips. There are 9 instances in the Bible that uses the word bless to mean happiness. So in Matthew chapter 5, 3 and 11, I'm just going to read a few of the verses. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they should be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they should inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they should be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they should obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they should see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they should be called the children of God. And blessed are they which persecute for righteous sake, for theirs is the kingdom of God. And one more. Blessed are ye when men shall revive you and say all manner of evil against you and persecute you. For it says, and should say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my sake. So what point is I'm trying to get to? The point is telling you this is to get you to understand that true happiness is not always achieved through emotionalism. True happiness comes through the wisdom of God and through the actions of blessed living. Before I let you go, let me share with you this week's tips. Tip number 1, remember the good times, no matter how devastating the circumstances are. The good, the bad, and the ugly. God will work it out for your good if you love him and are called according to his purpose. In Romans 8:28, let's read the scripture. It says, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. All right, you got that? Tip 2, look from God's perspective. Look from God's perspective, not in your own perspective, because sometimes our perspective could be shaded because we're too close up. Know that God has a master plan that he planned for your life to work everything out in your favor. Leave the details to God while you enjoy your journey. Number 3, bless the Lord at all times. In other words, keep a praise on your lip. Praise him when you get up. Praise him when you lay down. Praise him when you're driving your car. Praise him on your job. Praise him that you got food to eat. Keep on giving God praise. Keep it on your lip. David says, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall continually be on my mouth. That is in Psalms 34:1. Number 4, have an attitude of gratitude. What do you mean by that? Constantly praising God, blessing him, magnifying him, exalting him, searching for him in prayer and Holy Communion. Always letting him be in your life in conversations and decision making. Number 5, build up your most holy faith. Oh yeah, exercise those faith muscles. The more we believe God and the more faith we will have, there is nothing that you can't believe God for. Exercise your faith and trust in God. Number 6, stay away from negativity. Get away from negative talk. Get away from them negative people, them sand people, them joy killers. Get away from them. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Let me say that again. Depart from evil. Do good. Seek peace and pursue it. In other words, go after it with all your might. Look at Psalms 34:14 in your study. And number 7, be determined. I can't say that enough. Because see, when we get depressed and we get distressed and distraught, we often get so down in our spirit that you don't even see no determination. But I want you to be resilient no matter what it is, no matter how hard it is. if we believe in God, as another scripture says, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience, and let your patience be her perfect work in you. And do not doubt, because you don't want to be a man tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine. Because if you do that and you don't have good faith and your faith is shaky, God said that he won't bless us and he will not answer that prayer if you're unstable in your mind. So be resilient. Have a great personal relationship with God. Cry to God in communication and prayer with your whole heart, and he will hear you, and he will deliver you from all your troubles, through every test, through every trial in your life. Keep believing in God. Don't believe the circumstances and the situation that may happen to you. You got to trust God. And yeah, it may be happening, and we're not going to be happy about the situation, but we're going to believe God, because he's sovereign. He knows exactly how we're going to come out. And I believe we're going to win every time when we have the hand of God resting upon us. Keep trusting God, and he will bring every thought and everything into your life that needs to be brought in a positive way. Even though you go through everything like disappointment and devastating situations, we've got to trust God no matter what. As a matter of fact, when we go through all those things, God is trying to tell us something. He's trying to mold us and break us in his own way, but he's trying to break up some stuff so he can create some greater things in your life. So when you have circumstances and situations and devastation events that's happening in your life, know God is in the background working something good in your favor. All right. And declare the word of God. Declare with all your heart. The word of God said, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord will deliver them out of all their troubles. Are you excited about the tips today? I know I am. I'm excited. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. And it's time for us to go right now, which we've got to go. But I want you to remember that we are here every Thursday at the same time at 7 o'clock. So don't forget to tune in next week, same time, same station, and be sure to click like. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification buttons and tell somebody about Wisdom Tips so we can get other people involved in seeing this awesome program that God has given to us. And I'm so glad I'm here to share with these things with you today, and I hope you enjoy. So remember, we ain't got no time for tears and fears. Wisdom is the principal thing, and in all that getting, get an understanding. Love you guys. See you next week.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health is here. We got it, reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show.
Hello, hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, the host of the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast powered by CTR Media Network. And our show is all about motivating you, sharing knowledge, having upbuilding conversations centered around business, wellness, education, and life. We introduce you to some of the most amazing standout entrepreneurs and influencers who are truly making a positive impact in the world. And today, it's like any other day. We have an amazing entrepreneur here to inspire you to walk into your best life. When you think about the words, passionate, financial educator, resilient, entrepreneur. These are the words that describe today's guest, Chantel Davis. She is a dynamic visionary leading the charge towards financial empowerment and transformation. She is a serial entrepreneur and she has a backing of so much financial knowledge and her philanthropy background, which changes her approach on how she makes something difficult like finances very approachable for everyday people like you and I. So without further ado, let's bring on the lady of the time. Yes, amazing. Chantel Davis. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I'm always that person that absolutely love bringing on individuals like yourself because finances, taxes,
Deal.
wealth, and mortgage, all those things are things that we as regular people, we need to know about. And so I know that you're passionate about financial education. I know that you are a serial entrepreneur, but Chantel, can you tell us about your journey? Because everyone have a journey of what inspired you to become a serial entrepreneur, a financial educator, and a tax strategist. And why are you so passionate and advocating in this area of expertise?
Okay. So I'm going to make a very long story short. So my passion originated during college when I found out that my family was poor, like that we didn't have much, right? And it was because I feel like as kids we were sheltered, like like my parents, like they just made sure that we had everything, so we never experienced the without because they sheltered us from that, right? As I became an adult, and I had my own kids, I had my own share of financial problems. And I distinctly remember a time where my children were really young and my boys played it was football. So they were on a little league football team. And we had traveled down to Miami and I made a wrong turn on the way coming home, girl, and got on the turnpike and didn't have enough change to pay for the turnpike. And that was like devastating for me, right? So then as I matured, I became, in the tax industry and I started working with a lot of clients in our community, so the urban community, and just saw that there was like a very big disconnect between us and money. So that led me on my journey to be not just passionate about helping people with their taxes, but figuring out a way that I can make a bigger impact in their lives so that we're not just waiting for January to come so that we can get a large amount of money that's going to be gone before the end of January.
I love, love, love. And also thank you for sharing your story. I think we have similar backgrounds. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth, but my mother and father always have been very well with bringing. I'm having everything that I need and also quite a bit of things that I wanted as well, but I never really understood the wealth discrepancy, and I realized after I got grown, after I had my children, after I got married, that okay, we are in brackets in this thing called finances, okay? And I found myself in the bracket that I didn't want to be in because I'm thinking that we was somewhere else, right? And so you're right, especially in our community, the urban community, we don't talk about this type of stuff.
Right.
And so the fact that you're talking about this and you're making it such, you're sharing your personal experience
is making it more endearing because nobody want to share their laundry if you're not sharing yours.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So the fact that you are sharing this and sharing your personal experience and also saying, hey, this was me, but now I have step A, step B, step C, and I'm willing to help you. Kudos to you for doing all of this because we definitely need it. And when we think about financial empowerment and education, I see that you also deal with mortgages and stuff like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take us a commercial break. We're going to talk a little bit more about this divide with the finances that you took up this plight to help us with these finances, okay, that we need, especially in the now. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be back in a moment with the amazing Chantel Davis, who is helping us get our life together, baby, with these taxes and finances, okay? We'll be back in a moment.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Anybody that knows Tina, she's all about visibility. She's all about connection, and she's all about helping people create a source of income through monetization. And so, again, Tina is just really good at what she does. If you've not connected with Tina, if you've seen her show or heard her podcast and you're thinking about connecting with her, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. As a result of my connections with Tina, she has helped me with recruitment of speakers for my upcoming event. She's also helped me to recruit several authors for a few of the book projects that I have had the opportunity to produce in this past year. And all in all, Tina's just a really great person, that she's genuine in helping entrepreneurs in reaching their goals. So again, if you have not connected with Tina, be sure that you do. The Tina Ramsay Show is definitely a great venue for you to connect with other entrepreneurs, to connect with other individuals that are going to be interested in your service or your project. This is Tiffany Bell. Again, you are watching and listening to the Tina Ramsay Show, and I look forward to being able to connect with you.
And just like that, we are back. And I come along with a friend whom you might ask, ooh, the amazing Chantel Davis. Okay, from the commercial break, before the commercial break, we was discussing about your journey and how you was in college and how you realized, wait a minute, we were poor. But I would like to give your mom and your dad their props, because even though you were poor, and most of us are, because I was too, most of us were, they was able to create such a nurturing, empowering environment that you guys didn't even know, like myself, didn't even know that we was on, that we was dealing with this until we got grown. So kudos to your parents. But also, I want to also push it forward to you becoming a young adult and going to college and realizing the financial disparity, and not just looking at it, but it takes a different kind of person to go in and make a solution to the problem.
Right.
And so that's what you did with making the solution to the problem. And I know that you mentioned that your why, okay, and why you do this, but could we just elaborate more on your why and why you decided that you wanted to empower people with financial education? Can you I want to just dive deeper into what you mean and how this can shape our work and our message.
Okay. So so my why is to I want to empower our community through financial education so that they can live the life of their dreams on their own terms. And I feel like what and so the background behind that why is for a very long time before I became, I'm going to say, financially aware, I was living somebody else's life, right? I was living somebody else's dream. I was living on someone else's terms. And when I say that, so I had to get up and go to a job every single day that's not what I wanted to do, but I had to do it in order for me to be able to provide for my children. And then I had to work for a pay that I felt like I deserved way more than that. So based on that, and though, based on those restrictions alone, I wasn't able to live the life that I wanted to live. So I can remember when my children were young, my daughter said, like, Mommy, we always go on vacation, but we always go on vacation to Orlando. And it was always to that one particular spot because that was what we could afford based on, the finances that was coming in. So I wanted to show my children a different life. I wanted to show them a better life. So then we started traveling, right? I started making different decisions and becoming an entrepreneur. So I'm no longer subscribing to an ideology where someone else is getting rich based off of my muscle, that I'm going to go and I'm going to build wealth for my family in a way that if I was to leave today, my family has something, a legacy that they can continue. So everything that I do is really ingrained with based on experiences that I've had in my life. And I understand that everyone does not. So we didn't grow up with a lot, but the lot that we had was love. And that kept us together, right? But right now, in the economy that we're in, we need love and money.
Yeah. Most definitely.
We need love and money. So I'm just really, really passionate about helping people get into the know of finances so that we can make better decisions.
You know what? That is powerful in itself because you're right. Being blessed enough to be in a loving family. But in the economy that we have now, you're right. We need more than just the love. We need the extra layer of protection, which is the finances and understanding once we have the money, what to do with the money, or another term they call it is fiat currency. What to do with it in order for our money to have more than one use, so we can see the value coming back to us, not just going out and nothing coming back in. So making sound money decisions. And I love the term that you said, which was financial awareness. Okay. When you say financial awareness, because in my mind, when I think about financial awareness, I thought that's just a great way to describe it. It's a difference to know that finances exist, but to have the awareness of it makes you shift your life in a different direction. So you say that your financial awareness is what propelled you to what you're doing now.
Yes. So for me, financial awareness is pretty much exactly what you just said. So there's a difference from knowing, about money, right? So I have a 3-year-old granddaughter and I had her today and there was money on one of the counters and she said, Gigi, I have money. I got dollar, right? So it's one thing to know that you have that, but it's something completely different to be aware of it, because now that I'm aware of it, how I spend is differently, right? I'm not going to go into, like, one of my habits were I stressed shopped, right? So if I got stressed, if I was going through a stressful situation and it was like my mind was all over the place, I'm at the mall, right? And but I wasn't aware then. So it really didn't make sense to me that every time I go to the mall and the money is already minimal, that I am basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. And I feel like for a very long time, because I heard that a lot growing up. A lot of people, like a lot of our families, like that was something that was said. So it became normal. It was regular for us to rob Peter to pay Paul. Right. But now that I'm financially aware, like that's not living.
No.
I
I 1000% agree with you. And that is one of those, I would call them idioms in English, where you say one thing, but it means something totally different. In the case of this, Robbie, you're not thinking about financial stability, And
Right.
so the fact that you use that analogy, which is so common, I mean, I heard it last week, okay? That's how common it is for everyone. And so the fact that you even start learning with your financial awareness, your stress cues, that if
Yes.
you're stressed, when I'm stressed, it causes me to do this, which is go to the mall and shop to try to forget whatever it is that's
Right.
stressing me out. But in hindsight, 2020, you're creating more of a problem because you have limited income, and then you go to the mall and everything in the mall is just higher. Just it's more expensive, and so you get that, what they call it, retail gratification. Then when you get home and you look at that bill, you be like,
Oh Lord, yeah, what did I do? Regret, and then you start regretting. Because I know another thing that I used to do is I would just, like, if it was something I wanted to do, I would just do it, right? Because I wasn't really, I'm gonna say, wasn't really cognitive of the effects that it was going to have. Even though I knew the effects, I wasn't cognitive of how serious it was. But then what would happen is now you're regretting things, right? So even if it was taking my kids out to eat because I wanted to be able to, do that for them, but now when it's time to pay the car payment, I'm regretful that I took them out to eat. So it was like, once you become aware and you realize, like, that's really not a way to live, because now we're going to become resentful. And what I never want to do is be resentful of the things that I did for my children.
Oh, yes. And the fact that now, so these are some of the things that you help other individuals with, be able to figure all this stuff out and basically navigate this world of finances so that we can make more better decisions in regards to understanding how, I like to say, life be life. And sometimes when life is life and we do things that we may not necessarily plan to do, but is it smart to do? Is it smart to do? Wow, wow, wow. So I'm going to add it to my vocabulary. Financial awareness. Listen, do you have some financial awareness? You need to go talk with Chantel. So what we're going to do, we're going to take another commercial break from our sponsors. Then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about something else, because you are so vocal, so confident, so bold in this realm that most people shy away from, which is finances and, Lord knows, taxes. Because in our community, we can get happy by January. Be like, where them dependents at?
Right.
Get excited. And you telling us we got to change our whole mindset over.
Yes.
But I also know something that I think the audience would like to know a little bit, because you didn't let this stop you. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what that thing is. And it's going to give our people some motivation. So you guys, we're going to be right back after we take the commercial break from our sponsors. And we're going to get more into the conversation with Chantel. We'll be back in a moment. Join the She Trucking Foundation today and be a part of a supportive community of women in the trucking industry. Unlock exclusive access to valuable resources, including mentorship, educational workshops, and networking opportunities. Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting your trucking journey, She Trucking is here to empower you and help you thrive. Visit www.shetrucking.com to join us and drive your trucking career to new heights.
A really great experience on the Tina Ramsey show. I felt like she really asked some valuable questions that can help a lot of people, especially in regards to monetizing. And so the vibe was great. I honestly wouldn't mind coming back on again if she invite me. And I felt like the conversation just flowed. So I am super happy, and I can't wait for the show to air on every single platform out there. And thank you again.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. And just like that, we are back. But I come along, you know what I'm going to say, with a friend whom you might ask, the amazing Chantel Davis. And we are going to talk more about this financial awareness. And also, we're going to share a little bit, because I know sometimes y'all like a little tidbit about the guests that we have. And guess what? Little birdie told me that Chantel is an introvert.
Yes.
So how in the world you are doing something like finance education, taxes, mortgage strategies, where you have to deal with a lot of people, and you're an introvert? So, okay, wait. I just got to break this down. So you're an introvert entrepreneur, you're a tax strategist, and you encourage your clients and colleagues regularly. So how do you balance yourself being an introvert by nature, and also the demands of building relationships and networking in your field, which can be difficult and exhausting for an introvert? Why? Because I'm an introvert. Go ahead.
All above. So I am an introvert by nature. And I think that it's important. So something that I had to learn, right? So I think it's important that people understand what that actually means, because it doesn't mean that I'm shy, right? It doesn't mean that I'm antisocial. It does not mean that I don't know how to interact with people. What it really means is that my preference is to be somewhere alone, right? By myself, spending time with me. And it wasn't easy, because imagine being an introvert who likes to spend time with yourself, but not liking yourself, right? So once I grew into understanding who I was and understanding that everything that I do is purpose driven, it makes it very simple. It makes it very easy for me to go out and do what I do. Now, does that mean that I don't clam up sometimes? Because sometimes I get in environments, sometimes I get in rooms, and I am like a invisible person. Like, can you see me? Sometimes it happens sometimes, but I have to remember that it's what I do is purpose driven. So it's not about me. It's about what has been instilled in me, what has been given to me to be able to help my community. Once I go through that cycle through my process, then I'm able to go out and boldly say that this is who I am and this is what I do. But what I can tell you is that it's a struggle daily.
Yes. And believe it or not, most people don't believe it, but it's the truth. I'm an introvert. I describe myself as an introvert with extrovert tendencies, which means that just like you, I'm purpose driven. I know why I'm here. I know who I am, and I am very passionate and also consistent about making sure I do what I'm put on this earth to do, because I know it's not about me. It's about the people who God aligned me in order to help. And so even though I get uncomfortable, I still push myself out there, because like you, I'm fine with me, myself, and I. I'm fine with it. Okay. And I'm an only child, which adds another layer onto it as well. So I'm used to being by myself. And although I love being with people, talking with people and stuff like that, but it can be very exhausting for a person who is an introvert, who is pushing themselves out of their comfort zone. Literally, I have to go recharge after every major event that I do if it's around a lot of people, because it's physically, emotionally draining. So the fact that I met a co-introvert that is very bold and confident like myself, but also realize, hey, now I like to decompress.
This is all for a little while, and then I got to go home.
Exactly. But the fact that you're doing something that is so much needed today, and you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone for the bigger cause, for the bigger mission, it just stands as a testament of your character and who you are, because this is something that you did not have to do. You could have still worked for someone else,
right?
Fuel their own dreams, but you decided
to take what you learn, your gifts, and be able to share them with other people so that they can make sound decisions with finances that we need so desperately now. So, Chantel, could you share some specific ways in which you like can support us in these financial awareness and help fellow entrepreneurs, if you would say, navigate the complexities of taxes and financial planning to achieve their overall business goals?
So for me, what I do is I would say follow me on social media because I love giving out just free advice, free information. I love informing the people. I feel like that there's a lot of misinformation that is circulating in these internet streets. To where my goal is to make sure that I am providing the information. So I do no cost consultations, right? One time, a 15-minute, but like I will answer whatever questions that you have simply because I know that what I do is not easily or readily available in our community. And when I'm saying our community and urban communities is not readily available. And people need the information that we have. Another thing that I do, another way that I support people who may not be able to meet me where I am as it relates to paying for my service is I have a nonprofit organization called Living the Dream International. And one of the programs that we offer is um, financial empowerment through entrepreneurship, where through that program, we provide you with the information that you need in order to start, grow, and scale your business. So, really, the goal is to make sure that there's no reason why, if you come in contact with me or my organization, that you are not able to take your business to the next level.
Wow, wow, wow. So you are helping from a profit standpoint and from a nonprofit standpoint for individuals, along with you're doing part of your advocacy work. You are actually sharing out information on social media so that it can help people get the right information. And you're so correct today. We are so bombarded by so much content, so much information. Everybody is an expert nowadays, right? And maybe they just took one course and now they like, I'm an expert. No, you're not.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we're dealing with finance is something that can be so intricate and have so many different layers, and having you be able to navigate this for us and be able to provide that needed assistance, whether you can meet your fee or go through the nonprofit way. Wow, you thought about everything because with our community in general, we experience some being on the poverty line or below it, or they're trying to get 10 toes down to change their family trajectory for legacy. And so you're providing that avenue is very much needed. Do you provide any type of business accelerator strategy sessions, and if you do, is it for like a month or two? Because this finance thing can take more than just 30 days.
Absolutely. So we have in our business acceleration, so we have a business acceleration strategy session, which is a one-off session, right? So it's an hour session where it's one-off and where we basically give you a plan, right? So you tell us like what your goals are, you tell us what it is that you are wanting to do, what you're wanting to achieve, and together we're going to create the actual plan. So give you the actual blueprint of it. And then if you are interested in because real life, right? There's times where someone can give you directions, and we're going to just use like a GPS. So I can give you directions, but if you don't have access to the GPS, are you going to be able to get there? Right? So I can give you a map, right? But I only know one person in my entire life that was amazing at reading maps, and that was my uncle, and he's not with us anymore, right? Because most people, we didn't know how to read the almanac or whatever it was called. So if you are needing the GPS, where we are going to be there with you for 6 months, through our coaching program, then we also offer that as well. So it starts with that 1 hour session, just so that you can see, because what happens a lot of times is people just really aren't, a lot of, like, what I find out is we really don't know the depth or the severity of our situation, and because we are not aware of that, we don't know how to bring ourselves out of it. So sometimes just having that initial conversation. So the reason why we do the initial conversation is because you need to know how serious where you are is. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it. I'm sorry.
Me
You
too.
need to know how serious your situation is, and know like what is going to take in order for you to change your trajectory. And sometimes it's a blow to the gut and people aren't ready to be committed. So I want to make the change, but I'm not committed to it right now. So now once you're committed to it, then you can go into our business growth program, where this is where we're going to take you through that process. And yes, it is a business growth program, but even if you don't have a business, one of the things that I'm very big on, three things. So financial education is one, entrepreneurship is the second one, and ownership or property ownership, land ownership is the third one, because those are the three things combined that's going to help us build our wealth.
And it's a big difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Oh, yes.
It's a big difference. And go
I
ahead.
can attest to the fact, I can attest to the fact that I have rich clients that live paycheck to paycheck.
So it's a big difference. And if you don't know that difference, you thinking they're both the same, then that's even more so why you need to connect with Chantel, so she can explain to you what the difference is. Because once you start having this financial awareness, quote unquote, I love that, what you use, financial awareness, you're going to understand there's a big difference between wealth and rich.
Yes.
And once you understand that, and she's right, when you first have your finances explored, sometimes you don't even know what to ask for, because you're not accustomed to seeing what needs to be seen. You're not thinking in that kind of mindset. And so when you have someone that is and walking you through, and when they walking you through, I need you to have an open mind. I need you to be just, it might hit you in the gut, like she said, but the best thing that I want you to understand is that you have someone walking you through. You don't have to do it alone. Most people, if they get the information, they have to go at it alone, and more than likely they're not going to complete it. They're not going to do the things in order to, because you're going to get overwhelmed.
Right.
And so I would highly encourage anyone to get with individuals who gonna give you the truth, but also with the truth, be able to structure it and be able to come up with a strategy to help you see the light at the end of the tunnel, and make sure that you get hit what you need to hit, because they know what you need to do. This is not something that a person with no financial education need to be going in at alone.
Yes.
And why you would say that, Chantel? Because Lord knows that's something you don't need to do by yourself. I know from experience.
So I would say the number one reason is because when we do that, and you're going at it alone, you're going to miss something. You're going to make mistakes. And once you make a mistake, one of the things that we have a tendency of doing is beating ourselves up over things, right? And then once we start beating ourselves up over it, then we're going to eventually give up and we're going to stop going. So having someone like me on your side and on your team is, I'm not going to let you give up on yourself. I'm going to let you know what, you made a mistake. You slipped, you fell. But the thing is that we have the ability to get back up so that we can make whatever adjustments need to be made, because now we know that there needs to be an adjustment. So now we're able to make those adjustments so that we can move forward without feeling like that I can't mess up, or feeling like, that I can't make a mistake. So, okay, you started your budget and you didn't do the budget in month one. That is typical, right? But most of the times, because if you don't have the financial education, then you don't know that it's normal to give up on your budget in the first 10 days. That's regular, right? So with me by your side, when you come back the next month and you be like, I didn't follow that, and I'm going to say, okay, no problem. Let's create the next one. Right.
Mm.
And I'm going to keep encouraging you, because until it becomes a habit, we're probably not going to be successful at implementing it repeatedly.
That's true. I agree with you 100%. So, with all the information that you have been giving us, and we know that people can follow you on social media. So for those of you who want to follow her, which I know that you do, you go and check her out on that good old Facebook and them social media streets, Chantel Brown Davis, and you'll be able to get some information as well. But you also have a website, iamchantel.com. So on your website, is there a place where people can sign up to sign up for your coaching?
So on the website, there is a place for them to sign up for a consultation. And they can book a strategy session. And then from there, the team will send out information to them for you to fill out. And it's basically like an intake form, because we want to make sure two things: that you are a good fit for us and that we're a good fit for you. Because the one thing about what we do is you have to be ready to take that first step. So maybe you're not ready for the 6-month program, but you have to be ready to explore and take a really, really good look at what your finances look like in order for what we do to be effective.
So you guys make sure to hop on over to iamchantel.com. That's iamchantel.com. Let me spell it out for the ones listening in for the radio and the podcast. That is IAMCHANTELLE.com. Make sure to go check her out today. And make sure that you like, follow, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you follow her as well on everything that she is doing. If you are a person that's struggling with finances, or maybe you have never even thought about the possibility of getting your finance together, I would say, regardless if you are a business owner or not, you need to get your finance together, even if it's on a personal standpoint.
Right.
This is not something just isolated for entrepreneurs, although we as entrepreneurs, we have to make sure we have that together. But you can't go to your next destination if you don't know the directions on how to get there properly. Okay. Right. And if it's different little things like potholes along the way, you need to know how to maneuver.
Yes.
So that you can get to your destination. And so a financial strategist or advisor, a person who is dedicated to helping people be able to navigate this bumpy terrain successfully, will be able to help you do that. And Chantel, she has made it part of her life's work to make sure that you be able to have that access. Because many times we don't have the access. So now, for all you've been hoping, wishing, and praying, you have problems. You're looking down at that invoice and all that other stuff, and you're like, what am I gonna do? And then here's the interview for you.
Right. Right here. Right
so
here.
If there's anything else you would like to tell our peoples, our lovelies here at the Tina Ramsey Show, about any other thing that you have available, or anything that you want us to look out for?
So right now, I actually have two books or journals that are going to be dropping on Amazon within the next few days, or at least by next week. One of them, well, there's three really. So one of them is going to be it's called Every Penny Counts. So it is a 30-day journal for you to be able to track your expenses daily. And what we call that is basically creating a reverse budget. Because one of the things that I have found out in my experience is that a lot of times budgets are not effective because we really don't know where our money is going. So we don't know how to effectively budget for that. So the reverse budget journal is going to put you on track to track your finances over a 30-day period, where in there you're going to be able to jot down, and it's every penny counts, right? So I don't care if it was 50 cents at the 7-Eleven, you're going to jot that down so that we can see where you're spending your money at. Then every day you're going to do reflection. So you're going to reflect back on today's spending and what can you do. So did you do happy spending? Or did you do sad spending, right? And sad spending is those things, like I said, when I would go to the mall, right? So that we can see where our money is going. And now we can effectively decide how we, what is going to be the most effective way for us to budget. And then the second set is going to be a his and her 12-month journal, where it's a guided journal, and it's I think it's man doing business, a man doing his business, and savvy and successful. But it's a 12-month journal where you're going to be able to do weekly prompts. So and it's a guided journal. So it's weekly prompts that's going to take you through 12 different financial scenarios. So for 52 weeks, you're going to answer you're going to answer weekly scenarios. So one may be talking about, getting started on a financial journey. Then it might be talking about budgeting. It even goes into talking about planning for your taxes. So when these come out and you start now, by the end of 2024, you should be well on your way to financial freedom, where you have the ability to live life on your own terms. Because again, that is my whole why, my whole reason. So as soon as those drop, again, hopefully by next week, they should be live on Amazon. I definitely will be posting that all over the social media streets. Because again, our goal is to provide with the resources that is necessary for our community to be able to effectively navigate our way to financial freedom.
Love it, love it, love it. And thank you so much for sharing. So again, for all of you listening in and watching, that's going to be watching later on Roku and watching all over the place, listen. And for the ones who just love to just listen to the sound, this Southern twang, I'm going to make sure that you can get this social media. Okay. So I want you to go on facebook.com/Chantel Brown Davis. That's CHANTELLEBROWNDAVIS. And for those of you who would like to just go ahead and just see everything she has to offer in one good old place, you go on over to her holding place, which is her website, baby. That is www.IamChantel.com, and that is spelled IamChantel.com. Make sure to go check her out today. Chantel, I would like to tell you, thank you so much for coming on and being a featured guest on the Tina Ramsey Show, sharing your expertise. And also, this is one of the few conversations I have had where you made financing fun. And so I can imagine what your strategy session is going to be like. Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on. And we can't wait to see what you do in these social media streets, because we're going to be following you.
Yes. Come on, come all.
All right. So everybody make sure to check her out. And Chantel, hold tight backstage, and we'll be back with you in a moment. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, as you can see, Chantel is a woman at our own heart. She is taking things that finances, taxes, building true legacy, understanding what financial awareness is, and then making the tactical moves, being able to help you strategize your financial freedom that ultimately leads to your financial success, that leaves the legacy that we so desperately want to leave, not just for one generation, but for generations and generations to come. So make sure to check her out on all social media platforms. I want to just talk to my lovelies, okay, my lovelies of the Tina Ramsey Show. Listen, I know that it's not always easy for you, and I know that life be lifing. But I want you to know that if no one told you this today, that they love you and that you are special and that you are worthy, I want you to know that I love you and you are worthy. And thank you so much for being one of the best parts of the Tina Ramsey Show, being our supportive community of lovely. So make sure to check us out on all social media platforms, including the amazing CTR Media Network that helps us be able to get into all of your homes, 350 million worldwide. So make sure to check us out, and we will see you guys next week, same time. So until then, I want you to do what? I want you to keep smiling. Thank you for tuning in to the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. Bye.
Listen, if anybody's interested in getting into podcasting, grab this book. Go on Amazon
grab this book. It goes with me almost everywhere. This book has like a workbook. It has places you can fill it in. It tells you how to monetize your podcast. It tells you how to set it up. It tells you about sponsorships. It even, listen, go on Amazon and get this book. And this is the Bible for podcasters. Listen, it was ranked #1 in podcasting books. Look right here. Best new podcasting book by Book Authority. Right there. Boom. And a little secret. Y'all, when you grab this book, I think it's page 43. There is a code on there. Listen, you can get access to her class, her course. Get her course. It's worth hundreds of dollars. But this book it's less than $50. Grab this book on Amazon. I'm telling you, I carry it everywhere. She is the best. Grab this book on Amazon.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? They have the support. They support us in all that we do. When we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate it.
Are you ready to skyrocket your podcasting journey? Look no further than The Power of Podcasting by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. This book is not just any ordinary guide. It's a game changer that offers insider strategies, captivating content creation tips, proven techniques, and monetization secrets. But that's not all. When you purchase The Power of Podcasting, you also receive a complimentary bonus. Dr. Ramsey's sought-after podcast 30-video course valued at $999, absolutely free. It's no wonder this book is a #1 bestseller on Amazon and has been rated one of the top 10 best new podcasting books to read by Book Authority. Dr. Ramsey's expertise and practical advice have earned her acclaim in the industry. So, what are you waiting for? Take the leap and unlock your podcasting success today. Grab your copy of The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey on Amazon, or visit their website at ctrmedianetwork.com. A link will be provided in this episode's description. Your podcasting journey starts here.
Don't make no sense. I can't believe that everybody outside playing, having a good time, drinking their juice and stuff, and I'm stuck in here. No. I want to go to Sesame Street. I want to talk to Big Bird, Snuffleupagus, Elmo. That's my dude. I'm just saying, I'm gonna get me a ride to get up out of here. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, this don't make no sense. They trying to keep me locked up. I ain't doing that thing, man. I'm gonna grab the keys and go down to Sesame Street and hang out with Elmo and the crew. Word to you, man. I'm just gonna have me some fun, and I'm just gonna. Everywhere. I'm gonna be balling up in here. Watch this. It's about to be that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be it's gonna be on. Yeah, I'm gonna get this ride. Wow. Look at this steering wheel. Man, I'm trying to tell you, this thing is hot. Man, got the goodies over there. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm about to burn Sesame Street up. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, where you at? Where you at?
This what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Sunny day, going to set.
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
Look, is
Are
that what you think? No.
serious?
I was looking for your Weight Watchers
Bruh.
cream. I was looking for your Weight Watcher cream.
No.
Please, you gotta believe me. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. Yo.
Bruh, what are you doing in my vehicle? I know you ain't in my vehicle. Who told you to do that? You know what? Get out right now. This ain't gonna happen. No.
Listen. I was just in here trying to find your Weight Watcher cream. I know you done gained some weight, and you was just trying to, and I was just trying to.
On me. Let go. Let go. Let go, man. I'm a.
Go
She
Bean.
definitely is here with me, and says, congratulations to your success. And what was the name of it again?
CTR Media
CTR
Network.
Media Network. Make sure y'all tune into that, man. They doing it.
Thank you.
The public is asking for more information on potential health risks with 5G. A November 2020 U.S. Government Accountability Office technology assessment of 5G wireless stated that 5G is so new, there's been no studies on its long-term health effects. And even after high-band 5G technology has been put into use in the coming years, the long-term health effects on people, if any, may not be known for many years later, because some health outcomes could take decades to develop. The GAO added, observational studies may be used to study health outcomes that take decades and years to develop, such as developmental, behavioral, and cancer outcomes. However, there have been no long-term studies on the health impact of high-band 5G frequencies because the technology is still new. In the words of U.S. Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, we're kind of flying blind with 5G here, so far as health and safety is concerned. In the meantime, a growing number of people in all walks of life are reporting a range of symptoms, including headaches, insomnia, mental confusion, heart palpitations, and fatigue in the presence of wireless devices, and when in close proximity to cell towers. These are classic signs of microwave sickness. And these small cell towers are going up in our neighborhoods at a frantic rate. These 5G cell phones are in our pockets. They're in our purses. They're on our living room floor with our kids. The most important thing we can do right now is be aware and accept there are potential risks. This is a huge problem brewing. The next thing we must do is take action. We need to link arms with organizations that represent sound science and the public interest. One of these organizations is the Americans for Responsible Technology. On their website, go to Take Action, then First Steps. If small cell towers are already in your community, there are steps you need to take. The more you can be proactive and protect your household, the better. In another video, we will discuss things you can do if small cell towers are not yet in your neighborhood. Thank you so much for your interest and your concern.
Discover an incredible opportunity with CTR Media Network to enhance your company's visibility in the community through our dynamic platform. Would you be interested in being featured in one or more of our engaging podcasting shows? Well, we're currently scheduling interviews and booking right now. Just visit ctrmedianetwork.com and click the Contact Us tab to secure your spot today. Additionally, while you're there, consider placing an ad in one or more of our highly acclaimed #1 best-selling magazines. It's a perfect time for you to maximize your visibility and reach through the pages of our magazines. Just click the Store tab on our website to be featured today. We also offer prime commercial placement opportunities. Imagine your message reaching 350 million households worldwide during any of our CTR Media Network shows. We would love to partner with you. Consider becoming a sponsor of CTR Media Network today to take advantage of all the opportunities that we have available. It is our joy to spotlight individuals and companies who are making a positive impact in the world.
For you to consider when organizing your curriculum. Traditional method. This approach uses structured subject times focused on working through textbooks and workbooks. This approach is very goal-oriented and highly organized. Unit study method. This approach integrates several subjects focused on one topic or theme. You can pick a topic that interests you and your child and create learning opportunities with the same theme. This method works well with teaching multiple grade levels and ages at the same time. Classical method. This approach teaches through classical languages, critical thinking skills, and Western civilizations. Unschooling method. This approach surrounds the child with opportunities to learn in an unstructured environment. This can also be thought of as interest-initiated learning. With this method, your child will learn from real-life experiences. Children are encouraged to pursue their interests and glean learning opportunities. Community method. The child learns significant real-life lessons by participating in events outside the home. This method can include youth group activities, volunteer work, organized group situations, or church activities. Eclectic method. This approach picks and chooses from all the other systems. Once you know your family's teaching method, you are ready to look for the right curriculum. Remember to ask any veteran homeschoolers in your area for advice on materials in your chosen method. However, several websites and catalogs will direct you to materials that match your needs. Watch helpful videos on the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also purchase the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine on Amazon.
Podcast can provide several benefits for businesses and brands. 1. Targeted audience. Podcast listeners tend to be very engaged with the shows they listen to, and many podcasts attract a dedicated and loyal audience. Advertising on a podcast can allow businesses to reach a highly targeted audience interested in the podcast's topic or niche. 2. Cost-effective. Podcast advertising can be more cost-effective than other forms of advertising, such as TV or radio ads, especially for small businesses or new brands that may have a small advertising budget. 3. Authentic and engaging. Podcasts tend to have a more personal and authentic feel than other forms of media, and advertising on a podcast can feel more natural and less disruptive than other forms of advertising. This can make the ad more memorable and engaging for the listeners. 4. Measurable. Podcast advertising is trackable. This way, you can measure how many people have heard the ad, how many people have seen the ad, and how many people have engaged with the ad. You can also track how many people have downloaded the podcast to see how many people have been exposed to the ad. 5. Long-term impact. Podcasts are often consumed by listeners over days or even weeks, so the impact of an advertisement can continue to be felt long after the ad is played. 6. Versatility. Podcasts are diverse, allowing businesses to find the perfect match for their product or services. From business and finance to health and wellness, podcasts cover a wide range of topics, so there's something for everyone. Every business needs a way to keep its business visible consistently, which can create opportunities, generate leads, and spread brand awareness globally. Advertising on a podcast is a fantastic tool to do just that and more. Reach out to Center Media Network today. To learn more, https://www.ctrmedianetwork.com/
Intangible
It's Morning Show on your radio. Good morning to you. Friday morning. It's time for Community Spotlight. Our man, Michael Finkley, is in the building. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry for all the noise. Happy Friday, y'all. I'm in the airport trying to make this weekend happen already, y'all.
Sound like prison to me. Sound like prison to me, don't it? Mike, where you going? Where you traveling to?
Well, we are heading to Las Vegas. For business and also for some fun too.
Yeah. But I caught the flu when he was in Vegas last time. Just FYI.
Oh no, he can have that. That's not my ministry for this.
Make sure you go to the blackjack table, okay? No, hey, wait, bro. To the blackjack table.
Always bet on black.
Always bet on black. Michael comes on each Friday, fam, and he brings on entrepreneurs and nonprofit founders and so forth and so on from all over the country. And Michael, who was your guest this week, buddy?
So I had to bring on this next guest. She is one of the founders of CTR Media Network based out of Columbia, South Carolina. She's Tina Ramsey.
Tina, what up?
Hey.
Tina Ramsey.
I am doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Oh, we had no choice. Michael brought you on. Well, it's true, but still,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I love it. I'm gonna get right into it. Because Ron gonna make me lose my flight. Listen. Tina, tell us more about CTR Media Network, because I am privileged to be a part of this amazing family. Could you tell us more about what this amazing media company does?
Sure. Like I said before, I really appreciate being here this morning and also being here with all the other amazing co-hosts. But like Michael said, I'm Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. I'm the CEO of CTR Media Network, and we specialize in helping podcasters, companies, and entrepreneurs grow their businesses by diversifying their visibility through innovative podcasting techniques and media. We also help them to expand and leverage, you guys, their market share through 3 ways: social media, television, and podcasting.
Listen, because we do it up over here at CTR Media Network. I'm just trying to tell you, because you have such an awesome reach. Even though you're based in Columbia, South Carolina, you have a global reach as well. How do you assist? Could you go a little bit more deeper in how you assist others within the communities that you serve?
Oh, yes, and we are a global platform. We have the opportunity to be able to reach 350 million households worldwide, thanks to all the different ways that we distribute media. Like I said, social media, television, TV, magazines, and we help the community by providing necessary training and access to much needed essential marketing. One of the things with dealing with businesses is that I tell them all the time, it doesn't matter if you have this product or service if no one knows that you exist. So it's our job to make sure that you exist and that you build that digital imprint through the power of podcasting and media.
Okay. See, I love it. See, paying it forward, helping individuals out, because the team is growing. The podcast stream is growing, right? And so there's a voice there. There's a voice there, and it needs to be said and heard. And CTR Media Network is doing just that. So we know that 2024 is in the midst, right? It's right around the corner. What are some of our exciting things that you are about to partake in?
We have so many great things that's coming along with our amazing podcasters here at CTR Media Network. And one thing that is very important to us is community. How can we use what we have in order to make a positive impact? So we have trainings. We have in February coming up, which is our Community Give Back, which is our virtual power empowerment conference. And it's virtual, so everyone can be able to tune in. That they're going to be receiving training on podcasting. They're going to be getting training on homeschooling. We're going to be bringing in thought leaders from all over the world to just help inspire and motivate you to walk into your best life, unafraid, in 2024.
Okay, see, that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about, living our best lives. That's right. Going forward. That part. How can you learn more about CTR Media Network through social media and through your website?
Listen, you already said it, Michael. Go to the website. Okay, it's very easy. Our website is www.ctrmedianetwork.com. That's ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, you heard it here. Dr. Tina Ramsey. You heard herself. Right here.
I heard it. I love it. Listen, Tina, thank you. Michael, brother, thank you, man. Be safe on your flight. Listen, how can they learn more about you, Michael, on social media and all that stuff, bro?
Of course, the conversation continues with the Michael Pinkett Show every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, on the CTR Media Network and also on YouTube. And if you want to be a guest on Community Spotlight Series via the Jamal Race Show, of course, you can email me at info@michaelpinkettshow.com.
You need to wake up. You're listening to the Jamal Bates Morning Show.
All right, fam.
Dreams actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer, and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy, and I absolutely love fitness. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a professional makeup artist. Eating healthy is not the easiest thing. We get so busy in our lives, it's really hard to take the time to eat healthy and to eat right. My absolute favorite thing about this product is that they combine reds, greens, and probiotics in one mix. You put it in your water and you shake it up and voila, it's so easy and it tastes amazing. You'll feel a difference. Then you start believing that you really can change and that you can actually feel better.
My name is Brittany Petty, and I help teen girls to heal from physical and mental abuse so they can achieve their goals, such as attend college, develop a trade, or start their own business. So it is so important to understand that in today's society, a lot of teen girls, they don't just go off to college because they're presented with so many different opportunities. And so for me, that is what I'm passionate about, is helping teenagers discover their passion and their purpose and what it is in life that they are put here on earth to do. And so whatever they tell me, if it makes sense and it's something that they're willing to put forth the effort and apply action and dedication to, then I'm willing to help them to achieve those goals. And starting a trade, so many young girls have told me that they want to start their own lash business, go to cosmetology school, do all these different things. So I'm here to support the vision as long as they're willing to put forth the action. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Cedar Hill, Texas. Go my Longhorns. And I'm also part of the Mean Green Crew, University of North Texas. That's where I graduated from. I majored in business administration, minored in communications, and I also attended Capella University, where I majored in school counseling, which has led me on the path of mental health counseling, which has been amazing. I was in the military. I did Army Reserves, and I've met so many amazing, wonderful people along my journey in life. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunities and the people I've met and things of that nature. But a lot of people always ask me, they're shocked when I tell them I was in the military. And a lot of people always like, were you interested in that growing up? No, not at all. So it's just amazing how God can transform my life and take us down so many different paths and roads. But I'm so grateful that he did that, because I wouldn't be the woman I am today had I not taken all these journeys and tosses and turns and things of that nature. I also have 4 beautiful, amazing children. I have 3 boys and 1 girl. And I have an amazing husband that I've been married to for 11 years. But because of my life and my past journey and things that I have experienced and dealt with, I have had to heal from physical and mental abuse from my childhood. And so that has led me on the path, because after working in corporate America, I have a really good friend who got me into the field of education, which I'm so glad she did. At the time, I didn't see it, but I'm so glad she did. And it allowed me to realize that so many are hurting inside. And so when we're a child, when we're growing up, we have to deal with those pains, our past pains and trauma and things of that nature. And so that's why it's so important to heal from physical and mental abuse, because if not, we end up taking those things into our adulthood. And so for me, I am so passionate about helping, middle school girls, teen girls to heal from physical and mental abuse so they can live a life that is worth living when they get into their adulthood, because you don't want to carry all of this baggage around which is so important because in life, if we don't learn to let go of that baggage, it will just weigh us down. And that becomes a very heavy weight. And so it is so important for me also to help others to define their self-worth, discover what it is that really pushes them forward to excel and propel into this world ready to fly their wings, just ready to navigate whatever it is life has in store for them. And so when I tell you I am so passionate about helping others to define their purpose, I am. Because when I was growing up, I didn't know. I didn't know what my passion was. I didn't know what my purpose was. And when anytime I would ask, people just say, oh, just, your purpose is just whatever you're passionate about. And for me, I was like, okay. And then I realized that, okay, I love helping people. That's something. But I would lay awake at night still not knowing what my purpose in life was, because helping is so many things, right? It can be helping the elderly. It could be becoming a nurse. It can be so many different things. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I'm not necessarily happy doing it, right? And then I had to realize, okay, after I've been through different life experiences, okay, I like this, I don't like that. I like this, okay, I want to do more of that, right? And so because of life's journey and the things that I've been through in my life experiences, and also having a teenage daughter, it's important for me to be able to help others to say, you know what, I too deserve happiness. I too deserve to live life and be free, not holding on to that baggage. And so today that brings me to my topic, what I'm going to be talking about. Okay, on top of discovering your self-worth, but the importance of hashtag staying focused. But before I talk to you about that, I'm going to give you a little bit of tea. Okay, so let me ask you a question. How many of you have a teenage daughter or know someone with a teenage daughter? Okay. Did you know that 1 in 9 girls experience some type of mental, physical, or sexual abuse by the age of 18? And did you know that 82% of all victims are girls? It's so important for us to address the issues and things that are going on. And that's why I am so passionate, once again, about talking about self-worth. Hashtag staying focused. So today I'm going to talk about the 3 top ways to hashtag stay focused. Okay? Tip number 1 is we have to let go of those self-limiting, self-sabotaging beliefs. So anytime someone in life has said, you can't do this or you can't do that, or you are not going to amount to anything, or this or that, you have to let it go. Anything that is holding you back from excelling, propelling, letting your wings go so you can fly, anything like that, you have to learn to let it go. Okay? Tip number 2, you have to stay focused on yourself. Stay focused on yourself. You have to. I wrote a book called Stop the Drama, Stop Comparing, and Focus on Yourself. And it's so important because in this book, I talk so much about the importance of you loving yourself, discovering what self-love is, not comparing yourself to others, understanding the difference between self-worth, self-love, self-esteem. Because if you cannot look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself and embrace yourself how much you love yourself, then you're not going to be able to turn around and love others. And so I am so big on setting a solid foundation, because if you don't set that solid foundation, it's going to be very hard to move forward. Okay? I'm telling you guys, I'm giving you guys all the tea here. Okay? And tip number 3, you have to take action. Okay, you have to take action in order to determine your dreams and your desires and your goals. Because so many times I hear time and time again, so many groups of young ladies, they sit around and they talk. I've even heard this amongst adults. They talk about life and what they want to do, what they desire to do, or what they're going to do. But why do you think they are still in the same place 1 year later, 3 years later, 10 years later? It's because they didn't apply action. They might have heard something that sounded good, They might have heard something and they say, you know what, that's what I want. That's what I dream. That's what I desire, right? But they didn't actually put forth the effort. They didn't put one foot after the next to get to the next place. And so it is so important for you to say, you know what, I'm not going to be that person that just dreams about it and not take action. No, I'm going to say, I'm going to take me a notepad, okay? And I'm going to write down step by step what I need to do. And if I don't know what to do, I'm going to look it up, attach myself to the right resources, attach myself to the right people who can get me to the next level. A lot of times in life, we just have to ask questions. We have to surround ourselves. We have to expand our brain, our knowledge, read, listen to things that are empowering us, pushing us to excel and be better. And so my question to you today, what are you doing that's different from the rest? And I say that and I ask that question because if you are hashtag staying focused, then that means you are focusing on how can you get yourself to the next level? What can you do? And so what are you doing that's different from the rest? Meaning if you want to get to the top, you have to do something different. If you want to be successful, you have to put forth action. You have to let go of those, number one, let go of those self-sabotaging beliefs. You have to, number two, you have to focus on yourself. And you have to, number three, you have to take action. So what are you doing to separate yourself? What are you doing to not allow those self-sabotaging beliefs to get in the way? What are you doing to say, you know what, no matter what, I can push forward. No matter what, I need to stay focused on me. No matter what, I need to take action. And so when it comes to everything, I want you to make sure that you have to be healed in order to go to the top. So I encourage you to go to focusyoursuccess.com to download my free ebook. And you can follow me on Instagram at Ingeniously Made Whole. And you can also book me to be a speaker. Okay, I would love to come and speak to all of my teen girls and everyone to help push you to excel, to be better. So thank you for tuning in and listening to hashtag Stay Focused. I am Brittany Petty from Cedar Hill, Texas.
Step into it, do it.
CTR Media Network, Dr. Tina Ramsey, along with the staff of CTR Media Network and all of the podcasters that have programs featured on CTR Media Network. I'm Kim Jacobs, the host of The Kim Jacobs Show, and we're bringing balance to the world one household at a time. It is such an honor and a privilege to be able to be associated with Dr. Tina Ramsey and her program with CTR Media Network. They go over and beyond the call of duty and do exceptionally well when it comes to the podcasters. I'm saying things that are like, ooh, mind-blowing. They are exceeding our expectations, and I cannot be more grateful and more thankful. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for all of your professionalism, your consideration, going the extra mile to make sure that your podcasters have what we need to be able to have a thriving program and to get exposed to over 350 million households, 46 countries. I am excited to be a part of CTR Media Network, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you, Dr. Tina Ramsey, for all that you do. God bless you.
Hey Think Fam, it's your favorite host, Michael Finkley, and you can listen to us on CTR Media Network. Go listen in.
Go to teachingme.com and purchase my book.
Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Conference. Join us for 3 days on February 23rd, 25th, 2024 from 6 p.m. 9 p.m. EST by CTR Media Network. Are you ready to unlock your potential and make a meaningful impact? This is an opportunity to connect with a diverse audience and contribute to breaking down barriers that hinder progress. Support the cause, sponsorship and collaboration opportunities. While the speaker opportunity is free, we are offering limited opportunities for sponsorship, vendor slots, advertisement spots, and welcome donations to support the production of this transformative event. If you represent a media company, business, podcaster, or any organization interested in collaboration, please reach out to info@ctrmedianetwork.com or visit our website at www.ctrmedianetwork.com.
Go live. I hope everybody's doing good. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thursday after Thanksgiving. I didn't see you guys last week. It's great seeing you this week. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Remembered all the things that you have to be grateful and thankful for. And as we go into what is going to be our last month of the year, that's hard to believe, December 1st already. But we're there. And hey, we are approaching, like I said, the end of the year and an opportunity to go out powerful and determined to make the next year even better than what we may have seen this year. So, as I promised some months back, I am going to continue to give you some ammunition to have you start the year on fire. That's my goal. And so we're steadily talking about reinvention. And some weeks back, I thought about kind of a recurring theme, recurring things that I have been hearing and seeing and even feeling myself. And this word just kept sticking out to me. And that word is exodus. So many of us need to flee. So many of us need a way out of so many of the things that have been holding us back mentally, physically, emotionally. It's all in mental, just personal development type things that we really need to focus in on. And it has really been a theme that has occurred so often and has really pressed into my spirit so much that it prompted me to launch an entire podcast series that's going to be entitled Exodus. It is time to break free. And I know that seems like a strange theme for the Christmas season, right? Or for the end of the year. But there are so many of us that need to do just that. It's time to break free from some of these strongholds, from some of these things that have been holding us hostage, keeping us in a box, keeping us from thinking outside of the box and knowing some of the things that we can expand on to be greater, to be more powerful, to be healthier, to be better in a better mental place. So for that reason, I decided to launch Exodus, and I'll tell you some more about that in just a second. But tonight, again, we're talking about it's time to break free. And it is. It's time to break free of those things that we talk about so often that truly do hold us back. And all of this that I'm talking about tonight is as we gear up for this Exodus podcast. So first of all, before I go any further, I will say,
'24 Ignite Change Empowerment Virtual Conference. Join us for 3 days on February 23-25, 2024 from 6 p.m. 9 p.m. EST by CTR Media Network. Are you ready to unlock your potential and make a meaningful impact? This is an opportunity to connect with a diverse audience and contribute to breaking down barriers that hinder progress. Support the cause, sponsorship and collaboration opportunities. While the speaker opportunity is free, we are offering limited opportunities for sponsorship, vendor slots, advertisement spots, and welcome donations to support the production of this transformative event. If you represent a media company, business, podcaster, or any organization interested in collaboration, please reach out to info@ctrmedianetwork.com or visit our website at www.ctrmedianetwork.com.